Welcome to Plat Chat Overwatch, episode 236. I'm here with Jaws, I'm here with Jake. And it's new season time. It's season 12. It goes crazy, Jaws. Why does it go crazy, Jaws?
It goes crazy. New hero, new mode, two new
You
maps.
set the title for this episode. I have taken no responsibility.
Dude, I am not the SEO wizard. Why am I now contractually obliged to fucking do this title? I didn't do the shit, bro.
I just needed some creative juices flowing in the call. I just needed help.
It's fine. It will go crazy. It will go crazy, I think, maybe. Probably not. But the red circle that Solomon added, I think will do more for the SEO than my title.
Yeah, Solomon also could be the
everybody
thumbnail.
looks at the thumbnail now and then looks at the title secondary.
I
I
would
would
do
have thought.
Plat Chat with like top half is us, bottom half Subway Surfers. Maybe that's future.
That's so smart from you. That's so smart. And then Family Guy falling GIF animations in the
yeah,
in the
like
top
in
right.
the corners maybe,
Yep,
just in case
yep.
your eye strays away.
Just in
from
case
the
one of
center.
your eyes loses control, like, and you just go, yeah, and then when you need something in the top left here as well. Oh, there you go. Whoa, look at that.
Let's just leave this on.
Boom. We should, every time someone brings up a point, we should have that flashing on someone's head. So like people's eyes are drawn to that person as they are making a point. So it just like flashes on the screen.
I guess we should address why Funny Astro was in that photo. Oh, there's
Oh my god, look, see, he's making a point now. He's making a point.
I'm
Look.
looking at Johnny. I can't.
Look,
I can't
everybody's
look away.
looking at him.
Guys, crazy things just happened.
Whoa,
They
news.
nerfed Juno before Juno was even out. That's crazy. Whoa.
This is the best stream of all time. We are setting a new meta.
I think we've lost it. I think we
XQC is going to be
lost
on this next week, just to let you know.
it. Oh, yeah.
The red circle flashing meta.
Oh, yeah. Funny Astro was supposed to be here, but time zones are complicated, and now he's scrimming. I think the leaks are they're scrimming Toronto right now. I think so. Could be
Shocking.
Could be Ents. Could be someone else. I don't know.
I mean, it's
But I think
probably
they're
not
scrimming
Ents. It's probably an NA team.
Maybe. I don't know.
Be real.
Kevster's in a custom game. Kai's in a custom game, so they're obviously scrimming themselves. I don't know.
Scrimming.
Yeah. That's what professional players do.
My guy
They
Ben Best is in a custom game. Like, I think it's scrim time. I don't think they're
gaming.
scrimming.
Ben Best making a comeback.
He's in on Ryan, guys. That's probably
He's
in a Ryan.
He's in a custom game right now.
It's Ryan meta. We'll
What it
talk about
means.
it later on in the episode. But first, I guess we got to talk about Manscaped. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring another edition of Plat Chat. Today, we're here to celebrate the perfect summer grooming companion that will keep you looking cool even when it's sizzling outside. I'm excited to introduce to you the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in the new colorway White Hot from Manscaped. In a sea of options to choose from to perfect your grooming routine, Manscaped undoubtedly shines, and they're riding the White Hot waves with their special edition trimmer in white. There are limited quantities available in this colorway, so you gotta act fast. If you want the white Manscaped, you gotta go now. You gotta go fast. Gotta go get it before it's out. Step up your grooming game this summer with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in the White Hot. Experience precision like never before with next-gen dual skin-safe blade heads, an updated trimmer blade, an interchangeable foil blade for peak performance. These updated blades are not just for show. They're designed to keep you looking smooth and sleek under the summer sun. First, the updated trimmer blade features longer, wider, rounded teeth that cut through the hair with ease. And here's where things get interesting. The foil blade, crafted to transcend the boundaries of your typical trim. Achieved with the trimmer blade, this foil blade is designed to leave you with a finish that's irresistibly sleek and utterly bare. It glides gently over your skin, capturing the finest hairs for a flawless look that's ready to impress, whether you're hitting the beach or just enjoying the summer sun. Switching between the two blades is a breeze, giving you the versatility you need for all your summer grooming needs. It's like having two trimmers in one, making sure you're always summer ready without breaking the bank. If you're part of the OG Manscaped fam, this trimmer is a tribute to the classics, upholding the same features that we all come to love. A rechargeable, I always mess this up, Li-ion? Li-ion? How do you say it?
It's a Li-ion battery.
Li-ion battery? Is that how you say it?
Lithium-ion battery.
No, yeah.
There it is.
Li
Look right
the
there. Look,
chemical
everybody
symbol
look.
or in the periodic table of elements, it's lithium.
Okay. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it because it's like capital I after
The Swedes don't
dash.
do science.
I'm Swedish, Manscaped. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can.
The periodic table
love
different in Sweden.
RPM technology for top-notch performance, a travel lock for seamless portability, USB-C charging, and a comprehensive 3-level battery life indicator. And let's not forget the best part. It's still waterproof, whether you're at the beach or at the pool. It's always trimming time. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code PLATCHAT at Manscaped. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code PLATCHAT at Manscaped. Com. Wow, if you're skipping ahead right now, like you're missing out. You're missing out. We're over here
Red
talking
flashing
about
arrow.
our
Red
favorite
flashing
sponsor.
circle, pointing arrow. 20%
Unbelievable.
off. Appreciate it.
Jake Lion Battery.
Jake Lion.
Wow, that's great. Thank you, Royal Hedgehog.
I do have a
that's
Manscaped
great.
story. I did.
Nice.
I have a Manscaped. Look. Point. Yeah,
You
there
have
you
a
go. There you
lawnmower
go.
5.0
Manscaped
Ultra
story.
in
Manscaped
white?
story. I was gonna go to the beach, right? And I was like, man, I'm gonna have my t-shirt off. I'm gonna go swim. It's gonna be a good time. And you know what? I used it to clean out some of the hairs on my chest. It felt pretty good. It didn't cut the skin at all. It was pretty decent. I had a good time, and my chest was bare smooth. Didn't end up going to the beach, by the way. Too depressed.
I do
inside,
keep
I did end up using it on the chest. It was
the
pretty
chest hair trimmed, man. You got to. It definitely, I like to work out. I'm vain, as you guys know.
Yes.
So,
yes,
definitely,
yes.
it's definitely a good tool in the toolkit.
You can use it here. Here, we'll start standing up, and then Simon's just going to place it all over us. You can use it here.
I actually think that's a controversial question because I kid you not, I was on a team when I was on an Overwatch team. I legitimately got called out by a teammate who was like, "You don't shave your chest? Who are you? You don't shave your chest?" I was like, "No, I never shaved my chest." So my teammate convinced me to shave my chest. But now I'm married.
It depends on your personal goals, your personal grooming. Everyone can shave differently. That's cool.
I just didn't know that people were that passionate about it. If you're flexing like Jake, I get it. He's showing off. He's showing off the muscle.
That's the thing. If you want to get lean and you want to build muscle and build your physique, it will look, I think, a little better with the shaved chest. But
I agree. I agree.
Personal perspective.
But my wife likes the hair, so I gotta.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's a cooperation.
Gotta do it for my wife. So those shaved chest days are over. Anyway. There you go, Manscaped. That's for you. Season 12. We're here to... What do you mean insane?
Nothing. Carry on.
Okay, all right. We're here to talk about Season 12. It's a very exciting season on our hands here. I just told Joss, I'm having the most fun playing Overwatch that I've had in quite a while. A lot of interesting changes going on here. But before we get to the individual balance changes, I guess we'll just kind of start like big picture, the big things that are coming. Obviously, with Juno being introduced. But before we even get to heroes, have you guys been playing some Clash? We're playing some Throne of Anubis.
Yeah,
it's good. Barely played it. Yeah, it's in rank now. No.
Ton.
Yeah,
it's in rank day one, and they've upped the spawn rate of the map. So you're gonna get Clash more often, which makes sense. So people can learn it like ASAP, which is good. A lot of people are like, why? I don't know this mode, so why am I playing it? Bro, you need to play it to learn it. It's pretty good. I will say, I don't like Hanaoka that much. I much prefer the Anubis map, Throne of Anubis. I don't know what it is about Hanaoka. I think it's like defending second on the high ground is like really weird. Although Throne of Anubis has very defensible high ground, so if you get pushed back, you can easily like spring back and then go to mid. I prefer Throne of Anubis right now. Maybe my opinions will change, but when I played Hanaoka in the Clash like arcade mode, you remember that they had that, and I was messing around on that. Throne of Anubis is a good map though. Really like it. Good mode too.
I had fun, which I think is the most important part of it. I just had fun playing the maps. Again, I've only played like 5-6 times, so and I haven't watched any scrims, so I don't know how the pro players are doing it. It is kind of weird, like the scoring, and they changed the scoring on like the final point towards closer to spawn. I kid you not, I legitimately lost a Clash game in 2 minutes 50 seconds yesterday. We got stomped. It was crazy. I was playing Juno.
It's like push, but maybe easier to do since it's new. People are like not as experienced. They don't know how to like stop the bleeding, and prevent.
It's weird because like we lost the first fight, and then the enemy team had ults for the second fight, and so they won 2 fights in a row. And then they were pushed up against their spawn, and then we messed up our ults, and then it was over.
See, that's the thing. You're so unlikely to lose that last fight. You're so favored, but if you do, then you lost the 10% to lose fight. Johnny, is what happened.
It was very unorganized ranked play. So it will happen to the average ranked player, but if that happened in pro play, I'd also be like very impressed. I had fun though.
It is kind of worth keeping in mind with the rank reset too. All of your games are going to be a little bit more one-sided sometimes while everybody resets their like normal SR, like normal rank, Like I've seen a lot of people like, this game mode sucks. Only 2 minutes and I got stomped, or like we rolled the other team. Like what the hell? It's like, yeah, bro, because we're fucking everybody's like reset to the same rank-ish, and then you get pro players on one side, and you get like streamers on the other, and you get fucked up by pro players, or like you get players that are in your games that are much higher rank previous season, but because everybody was kind of leveled out in this soft rank reset. They're getting in your games, and so there's going to be a lot more one-sided games regardless of the mode, at least for the first like week or so, while everybody calibrates again. I think people like completely skipped over that fact because like everybody was complaining how short some of the clash modes are, and honestly, that's also a good thing, by the way. I think it's good that you just get insta stomped, go to the next, you know, like rather than just being like, oh my god, we're gonna lose, bro. Like it's taking so long, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the nature of rank resets. It's like I have never really been in favor of a rank reset, but people really want one. But it's like it's like irrational in my view. You know, like realistically, you're just throwing out data that you have on a player that like
they're not.
How good
That's
they are.
Not true.
It's a soft rank.
Exactly.
It's not a complete. Not a complete reset, right?
Yeah. But it's a good thing overall for the player base.
Yeah, maybe it does keep the game in a healthier state. I did find that like for me when I play like DPS after I don't know if it's the same as the last soft reset, but when I played DPS, I won like 10 games in a row, and it was like the first game I played after the soft reset, I was with diamond players, and I like turbo stomped the lobby by myself. You know, it's like that's kind of it's like funny for me, but it's like I feel a little. It doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? I'm like. This is like it's like too easy. I'm the other team is not enjoying themselves, you know, for that game because I am literally insta killing their DPS every fight and they can't win. Like,
which is but the thing is,
but that's like
for you,
low
that's only
percent of
one
the games,
game.
but it's just
that's like one game and then the system goes boom. Like it put me, I was doing with
taking
Jay,
10
SK,
games, it puts me
and,
back to my normal rank. So
I think it's a play called Learn the other day, and like I was playing Aspen. Sorry, I was playing SK yesterday, but like you just end up playing like one or two matches that are very unbalanced, either one way or the other, and then it instantly boosts you up. It was like when my first matches, or like when I was queuing into my first matches, it said, oh, I finished GM5 last season, and it said, oh, you're Diamond 3. And I was like, okay. And then I played, oh, now you're Masters 3. You literally jumped an entire tier, like in like 2 games or something. It takes like 1 to 2 to actually get back to where you roughly were, and then you just climb a little bit and it's fine. I think with the general populace, it's probably a good thing because they don't play like we do. They don't have the time to play like we do. They're playing on the weekends or in the evenings sometimes. So like, and then they take a break for a month. These soft resets are going to come in, push them down, and then that's probably where their skill kind of is because they've not played in a little while. They don't play consistently. And then when they end up doing the placement games, because it's not like an official rank, in theory, you're not really paying attention to it. But when you finish the 10 placement games, you're probably around the skill level that you were at before, or your new scale level, which is maybe down a little bit because you've not played in a little while. But overall, for the player base, it is a good thing. They should continue to do this. Like, what did they say? Like every
6
year
months
or something? Yeah, so every 6 months, which I think is a decent amount of time too. It's not anything crazy. It's not like every season we're getting a rank reset.
It's like stable, but then also, you know, it's just like serving 2 different types of player. I think that's a fair point. Like for a type of player like me who plays all the time, or in general who plays like a lot more than the average player, you're like, oh, maybe I don't need this. But then
it's not for the 2,000 hour Andes that play like or that stream. You know, it's not for any streamer. It's
exactly.
You do your placements, you're going to be around the same
with
SR.
their friends once in a while and not be too stressed about it.
Exactly. Also, it's kind of nice too in that regard that you get like these placement games again, where it's like there's something to kind of build towards, and you're.
I think it's fun.
Into, you know.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think Gavin also mentioned that they'll do it when they combine with like groundbreaking changes to the game.
Yeah, like a new game mode is like and a new hero is a great time to do it, right? Where like genuinely your rating of people's skill won't be fully accurate when you're changing the game in the biggest way possible, which for me is adding a new hero or major patches. I think adding new heroes tends to do more, but I mean, we'll see. We'll actually talk about the patch notes in a bit.
Yeah. All right, that's Clash. Again, early times, I definitely had a couple of team fights where the team pushed up, and I was like, no, the point is over here. Don't push up to the next point. We're not fighting for that point. So people are learning, at least where I'm at. At least where my support and damage play is at, which we don't, don't need to talk about that.
How's your rank looking these days on DPS, Johnny? What's your...
Well, it looked dire in my placements, but I at least made it to Plat 5, so now I can be on Plat Chat. If I was going to place gold...
As long as you're in Plat.
Dude, it looked dire. It was like your predicted placement gold 2. I was like, holy shit.
That is dire.
I played a match with someone called Golden Boy, and for a second I thought it was the actual Golden Boy. I was so low. I was like, wow, That's
Oh, what the hell? What are you trying to
Shots
shit like
fired,
Golden
shots
Boy,
fired.
bro? What the hell, man? He's not even on this show. That's fucked up.
I love that guy. I love that guy. All right, so that's Clash for you. They also introduced a new Avoid as Teammate update where we can make a long list, 15 Avoid slots.
Looking forward
All
to this
good.
one.
All in favor.
Luckily, they're not going to matter because I'm in GM. But you know, I'm happy that I can at least reduce the likelihood of more players being on my team. You know that like I know I can't fully like as you'd never get a match if you could actually avoid 15 players, but I'm personally excited to have the extra 12 to be like, you know, like the people I just kind of don't want to play with, as I was kind of annoying to have on my team, but it's not the end of the world. You know, there's a now more of a hierarchy, which is more realistic, I think.
Yeah.
To like what you really want out of avoid a player, like at least for GM, where you can't just like have this many players you literally can never be matched with. So it's like, yeah, some players maybe they just play only Mercy, and I don't really want to have a only Mercy on my team. You know, then I might put you on the avoid list, but it's like whatever. If I get them in my game, it's not the end of the world. Versus people who are like actively griefing or something, or they're like drunk. You know, I'm like I don't want to see this person in my game at all.
I know what Joe's going to use it for.
For the Mercy players? Yeah, probably. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, like Jake said, if you're high enough, which I'm not, to be fair, like, you know, low GM kind of thing.
No, but even GM,
gonna...
I think realistically, anywhere in GM, you're probably not gonna.
Yeah, I don't think I'll use
can't
15 though.
control.
I rarely use avoid slots these days. They're normally kind of stacked out. It really does depend. If someone's like hard throwing, or like if there's like an actual like hard Mercy OTP, sure, I might avoid them. But I'm normally duoed it nowadays with support. Like it feels a lot better. So yeah, I think it's good though. Again, it's kind of for the general player base. It's nice to have a lot more players avoided. It's worth keeping in mind too. Did it say here? Yeah, it's like the further they are down the list, because it's a priority system, they're going to get avoided last. The higher you go, they're going to get avoided first. And then there's the 3 static, which is like perma pins.
I think
like,
those are the same as the existing avoids.
Yeah, those are
like,
the same. It's
you
just the
actually
added
cannot
12.
be matched with them.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you're like
It's,
you have
it's pretty
beef
cool.
with somebody, you can properly avoid them. But then there's just I like having more of a scaled priority versus like black and white. These people banned, those people not.
Yeah. Yeah,
This
they
is
physically
more-
could not do like the
it
other
would,
way.
I mean, it
So
would ruin
that would be
matchmaking. Like
ridiculous.
you wouldn't
yeah.
get a game. So yeah,
Yeah,
versus at
exactly.
GM, at
It's
least
good.
But I think for most players, like if you're in gold, all 15 of these people are going to be like literally perma avoided. Like it's just not, your queues don't go long enough for you to, because I believe the way it works is as your queue gets longer, it goes up the list, and it's okay, we're gonna let you get these players on your team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
But if you're in like the middle of the bell curve and your queues are really fast, you're gonna basically have 15 avoid slots if you want them.
Yeah. So it's essentially like it was before, with 3 hard avoid, and then there's 12 like, hey, we'll try to avoid these people.
But
with
for
different
most
priorities.
players, I think basically all 15 are like gonna work. Like
If there's a lot of players in your rank.
yeah, it's going to be very unlikely that you'll ever see these 15 players. Versus GM, okay, maybe the bottom of the avoid list, you're going to get them in your game if they're playing.
Well, I'll have you know, there's no players playing Overwatch, so you're never going to see anybody in your avoid. You will always see the players in your avoid list. So no one's
I,
playing
for one,
Overwatch.
can't wait to log in and get fed with a screen that says, hey, a lot of people have avoided you. What's going on, buddy?
I haven't
Maybe-
it did. I mean that
It's happened.
you have to.
It's
That
happened
is
a couple times.
insane if you get that. That is just ridiculous.
No,
John.
it's happened a couple times, Jaws.
It's happened a couple
Oh
of
no,
times.
Johnny.
Look, I like playing Ryan. What can I say? All right, moving
Wave
on.
respawn.
We got this. Yeah, we got the spawn system changes. So they tried this in quick play. They released the director's take blog where Gavin went over it, and he said that it actually significantly reduced the amount of one-sided games in quick play across all ranks. So the fact that you spawned together and you grouped up made a significant difference. And so I guess they're just like, well, if it was this effective in quick play, we're just going to introduce it in competitive and see how it's going here. So instead of your regular, like you die and you spawn with a static death timer, spawn timer, you will kind of like be slotted onto a wave. So can either of you explain, in a good manner, how this actually works, or do you want me to try?
So you're in a team fight. You're fighting. Your people are dying. You lose one guy. That guy starts a wave, basically. So that first guy is on a respawn timer. Let's say he's got that, whatever it is, a 10, 12-second respawn. Just like normal if that was you, if you're the first one dying. Basically, there's no change. But if you're the second person, let's say you died right after that guy within 6 seconds, you will spawn exactly when the first person who died respawns. You will spawn exactly together, not they spawn and then you're 2 seconds later. Like if they're the Lucio and you are the Ana and you're crying as the Lucio does some crazy ass rollout and just leaves you behind in the spawn. At least he won't leave you behind as quickly anymore because he'll spawn right next to you and he'll have to put you in the aura for a few seconds. So basically it means you're naturally going to group up on respawns, which I mean, I think this is actually a huge deal. Like one of the biggest things I talk about when I coach people, like average players, is this concept of like being aware of your teammates and where they are and are they ready to fight and knowing the strength of your team. And this does like mitigate. I think that's the reason it prevents stomps, because like if people die first and get separated and then they like stagger snowball, that can be like easily a whole round. And although it doesn't determine the whole match, because it's like, let's say it's just an attack round or something like that, that it's so easy to just like hard stomp through a whole round because people just don't properly reset for the entire 5 minutes. That happens even in GM. GM I think it's more and more rare, but it still happens, and people are still greedy and they still try to fight before their teammates are actually ready to help them, and they take bad risks and stagger. So this is going to basically, it reduces a little bit of the skill of the game of like your awareness of like, are your teammates there ready to fight? But I think it's for the best, because in the end, it makes the game more accessible and it's more natural to group up with your team. And that's the way the game is meant to be played. So it's just like making it more natural to play the game the way it's meant to be played, which is to say, fight with your teammates. Don't 1v5, 1v6, don't go in alone. Just wait for everybody. And this is like, okay, enforced, you're going to spawn together. Naturally, you're probably going to show up to the fight together. And it's just going to mitigate a little bit of that.
It's good.
Snowballing from staggers.
I've felt it a couple of times. So I'm like, oh, I respawn quickly. That was cool. I like that. I can get back to the fight quicker. Like it felt pretty nice. But I think
you're spawning with the group, so you're not like, and like, yeah, I mean, stuff like getting spawn camped and things like that are just, they're not going to be quite as common to happen.
Sombra players mauling in chat right now. No, I can't spawn kill the Zen. No, please. Please, they're going to spawn as a group. Insane. Like, how'd you even get this, Johnny? Seriously, you must have been inting on Ryan, bro.
I don't know. This was like half a year ago.
You probably are locking Ryan every game. And people are like,
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I literally don't know. All right.
Overall, I think it's like a super good idea. I'm surprised. Was this in Quick Play before?
Yeah.
Doesn't Quick Play have a different spawn system?
I mean, I think
wasn't this literally it?
Respawn.
Respawn is replaced by web respawn in all non-competitive modes. Yeah, I don't play fucking Quick Play, so
I occasionally do, but I don't really notice something like spawn.
I haven't played Quick Play in a while.
Also, there's a small thing. Is it in here? It might be on the Flashpoint one, but the little like speed boost gates in Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that goes kind of crazy. Actually,
it does.
It's really like a really nice quality of life update.
I like that as soon as you fight, you lose it. So it's like it doesn't. Because sometimes on Flashpoint, you end up fighting near the enemy spawn because of like the point flipped and you're still fighting and then they're spawning right there. So I'm glad people don't come out and they're like turbo mode out of the spawn and you can't fight them.
Right.
But at the same time, it's gonna make your rollouts a little quicker and like your get back to. So maybe it mitigates the necessity of heroes like Lucio on Flashpoint, which is good, I think, because it's a little silly that you just like need Lucio to get back fast, like because of the timer of the point is not long enough for a third fight.
Yeah,
unless you have Lucio.
They're large maps. They are very large maps. So
a little bit of crossing the spawn. Also, high key ultra meta play now is going to be being Tracer after you win a fight and going to the enemy spawn and doing 1 damage to them, so they lose their speed amp out of the spawn. Running away.
The most micro thing of all time.
The optimizer.
Pissing people off so hard, sniping them on Tracer from a flank and running away to deny the speed boost.
And they're all going to be wave spawning, so you'll hit 6 people.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just spray my Tracer mag across the map and get the hell out of there. Oh, they're going to be so sad. That's going to be like the new, like, actual, you're like, yeah, like, you get that speed boost. Oh, shit. Fucking Tracer's
How long is the speed boost, even? Like 3 seconds?
Yeah, I think it's just a few seconds. But I think it ends it ends as soon as you take damage or deal damage.
Yeah. As soon as you take 1 hero damage, I think it's over. Which is kind of silly, but
no. It's super important, or else. Yeah, like, but imagine like being an enemy. You're near the spawn, and people just come out and they're giga speed amped on you, and you can't like how can you fight? You get owned.
So there you go.
There it is, Flashpoint update. Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it feels good actually. It feels nice.
I think that's actually really good for the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Less downtime.
Thank God. If this actually fixes like the Colosseo bridge,
I've not played Coliseum
Thank
since.
the Lord. We need to do some testing
you can't
for the
contest
New
from the high
Queen
ground.
Street, the Pills Room in New Queen Street, and the Coliseum Bridge. There's one on Esperanza, which almost certainly is fixed because it's way like more small and it's not even that good of a spot. But those two it is egregious stalling the car as like Reinhardt in the Pills Room on New Queen Street. It is not okay.
Wait, Johnny, did you say you tested that?
Minute without fighting.
Or we need to test it?
No, I was just informing the audio listeners that you can. The patch note is that supposedly you can't contest from the high ground on push maps anymore.
Certain high ground positions, it says. Which I would hope is like the ones that are really.
What other high ground positions can you contest?
Even
it's
in fairness,
only Coliseum.
Even if you could still do it, but you have to like go out really far and it's sketchy, it will probably fix it because like, I mean, on New Queen Street, you can stop the car from like you were inside the room. Like you can be behind a May wall inside the room and stop the car. It's egregious.
It's kind of messed up.
And I mean, Coliseum too it's pretty forgiving. You know, it's not like one pixel you can do it on. And so
also on
even
a high
if it's
ground.
hopefully they like lowered the contest height, so it's just not possible anymore because those spots are dumb. Honestly, it's not.
Anthony in chat said it's fixed, so
okay.
It's
I
fixed.
trust Anthony in chat. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
I mean, surely if they're gonna make this patch note, surely they know about the Coliseum spot like that. That can't be an accident, you know. That it's not.
Dude,
it's
no,
like,
that has been reported on so much.
Yeah, everybody knows about that.
That's not even. They are cerebrally aware, bro. Like they fucking know that shit is so stupid.
Which could be really cool. Like I think that actually really changes Coliseum, like in how defensible. Like you
change
have
it
to
from being the
fight
worst
a little
map,
bit more,
yeah.
and like maybe a comp that stays on the low ground and plays under the bridge is like going to be strong because you can't be stopped. You don't have to go high ground. You just push the car. You know, like that's
shit, man.
Completely unrelated, but everyone was so hyped when the glass was removed, and then I caught up to this weekend and I watched that first 5 minutes of Coliseum between like TSM and NRG, and I was just like, wow, this is great.
It's still
They're just still in the tunnel.
You're still shooting down the tunnel, but now you can shoot across. But like the thing is, maybe the glass wasn't a problem. Maybe the giant fuck off pillars that you can hide behind are the problem. Remove the pillars. Remove the pillars. Just
the glass
remove
helps.
it. Demolish it.
Helps.
Make it like the real Coliseum in Italy, where half of it is missing. Make it like
just
that.
Drop
Make
a bomb on mid, and it's just like
exactly.
Fortnite. We just have a crater where Tilted Towers used to be, and that's the new spot.
Amazing. All right, do you want to do patch notes or skins first?
No, patch notes first. We're already on the patch notes
first. Okay,
we're already on the patch notes.
What is this?
Oh shit! Wait, what is this?
Oh, it's BPL.
Oh my god,
in the
official
game.
BPL.
How are you
going to
test this by yourself?
You can't test this by yourself, bro.
The Torbs are gonna push.
The Torbs.
The Torbs are gonna push.
Live.
I can't wait to wait for.
I want to see the
Sojourn.
Torbs run out. And they're just gonna like hunt you down and kill you, and you can't stop the gun.
There's gonna be 5 Torbs just chasing you.
Your shield is not gonna last, bro.
Oh my god! Look how quick.
You gotta hide from the Torbs.
Oh, it's moving.
Unless you have damage resist, maybe you won't.
Place your bets now. Will the bot stop? Are you standing in the right
feel
place?
Like if they had to have fixed this. Surely this is the first spot in the game.
Look at how fast the bot is moving.
Oh,
bro.
you
Look
even
at the
did the custom
Torbs.
game settings right. Look at that.
Look at the
Let's
Torbs.
go.
Oh,
what about the other
look
side?
at that
Look
roll. Look at that TS1 roll. You can't stop it. You gotta get down there. You gotta get in the mix. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, the Torbs.
Fit him off. Take him off. Take him home. Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Well, that's beautiful, guys.
There it is.
I'm happy to see it. Happy to see it.
For that, man.
Great work. It's Plat Chat approved.
Out of
Plat
my
Chat
game.
approved. Amazing. All right, let's get on to the patch notes here. Well, Jaws, you asked for it. You got it.
Patch notes. Let's go, baby.
D.Va defense matrix. Maximum duration reduced from 3.5 to 3 seconds. There you go.
That hero is still busted. I was on my knees in front of Blizzard HQ praying for D.Va's downfall. Please.
The missiles. I've been playing tank, right? And the missiles on D.Va are out of control.
Yep.
You can just blow people up on D.Va. Like I just fly at people, and they're just gone. They're gone. I'm like not expecting to kill them, and they die.
I think,
and especially the squishies on 225 now. Oh goodness gracious!
The problem is with D.Va. The defense matrix, obviously, the maximum time the defense matrix can be out. Yeah, I actually think it's more the charge rate of which you get it back is more of the issue. Because
this is a very small nerf. I would think.
This is unbelievably small because the charge rate at which you get the matrix back is still insane. So the uptime percentage is still going to be very high. A 0.5 second nerf doesn't really do much. I'm going to be honest. D.Va is still unbelievable as a character. Like
I will say, some of the best times, like highest value uses of Matrix are when like the enemy blows their boop or their stun and they have nothing that they can do to you, and then you literally do full duration Matrix them, and like that is actually so broken sometimes. If they don't have a boop, there's no brig to like peel you or punish you. You're just standing there holding Matrix on like the Bastion or the Cassidy, and they just have no play for 3.5 seconds.
Okay,
so
let me ask you this.
I think this is it's not. I do think D.Va's still good though, I will say, but maybe not. People just need to learn. You just play Brig against D.Va. It's actually so free. D.Va's not even good if you play Brig.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious about D.Va has been, historically pretty bad in Overwatch 2 and not used as much. Do you feel like she's in a good place now? Is she overpowered? Like, should they leave her like this? Because she needs some help compared to historically.
I will say from a competitive perspective, I don't think D.Va's that good or broken. Even I think she's probably fine in her current power level for competitive play.
Okay.
But I think D.Va is a rank dominator type tank. Like it's like the team play on D.Va. What makes D.Va not so good in Overwatch 2 is that like, think about the other options you have, like shield creator tanks, or like, yeah, you could Matrix on D.Va, or you could like put a bubble on Winston and still be zapping and still be doing all your stuff after you bubble, So the tanks who build a shield and then continue to fight, like Sigma, Ram, Winston, are just like much better in general. But that's because of like, how hard the team play can hit in a competitive setting. Everyone's diving together on the Winston bubble. That's incredibly powerful. But D.Va is just like, I go solo kill people, and then like I'm doing my job, like I'm just killing your backline over and over again, or killing your flanker, whatever. So I feel D.Va is a problem hero in the sense that she's always going to be better in rank than she is in competitive play. So if she's remotely viable in competitive play, she's probably broken for ranked players because she's just a 1v1 god hero. It's kind of like Roadhog in a way, in the opposite sense, where Roadhog is like a 1v1 god hero, but absolutely terrible in team play for the most part.
She's still really good. I think honestly, after the patch, like the mega buff tank patch, like I've definitely gotten used to playing against the character some more. Is D.Va still oppressive? Fuck yeah. I think that character should be nerfed again. Just like, again, the uptime of the Matrix, maybe nerf the damage a little bit in the micro missiles. Mm-hmm. But it has gotten, I'd say, maybe a couple of weeks to kind of get used to how much damage the tank's doing. Like playing a little bit more cautiously a lot of the time with CDs. But like, I think with Matrix specifically, and any kind of ability that stops a character from doing what they're supposed to do needs to be treated very, very cautiously. Like Matrix is one of those things where it's like, I cannot operate my character. Like my character does not, if my character shoots, I cannot do shit. Like, and it's very frustrating to play against. And D.Va's up there with like frustrating, or at least just the Matrix, not like the character
the
itself.
Hit scan players are crying.
Yeah, like hit scan, but like a lot of things can't go through Matrix. Like Zarya can.
I love D.Va for playing against cheaters, though. There's no better tank than D.Va when you play against a cheater. Because they're so bad and games stupid and slow, and you can see their brain just doesn't work well enough to deal with D.Va, and they're just so used to hitting every headshot. That's all they can do. So you just fly in and blow them up because they're out of position, and then go back and chill. And it's a very chill playing against cheaters on D.Va. Like
that's another shout out. Actually, they just banned like 400k cheaters or whatever.
I saw that 500k, right?
500k or some shit like that. And
people who intentionally duo with cheaters, 40k.
The duo with cheaters too, they're getting punished as well. I personally think it should be a 1-for-1 punishment. If you're doing with a cheater, if they get permed, you should also get permed. However, I think the way they worded the tweet at least was like, there's penalties, for doing with a cheater.
I think it's higher burden of proof because it is reasonably possible that you could duo with a cheater without actually knowing it. Right, even though maybe many people do know and are intentionally getting boosted by a cheater.
It is not like
I'm very much if you cheat, you obviously know about it, but you could plausibly be innocent and duo with the cheater. So you can't. I don't think you can just. Anyone who played with a cheater at any point gets harbor banned. I feel like that is actually too much. Like
it's too much. I agree, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on things.
But if there's a pattern of behavior and it's clear, you duo to like multiple
if you are duoing
cheaters,
with them constantly, like permit. I'm sure they have some kind of measuring stick on like how much they ban
is permas, right? Like they're saying they're banned, right?
The 400k or whatever. Yeah,
I think it's 500k cheaters and 40k people who duo with cheaters. That's what I saw on the blog post.
Yeah,
dude,
I've been really decent. Like that's like a serious number of accounts caught cheating.
I've been on a deep dive of anti-cheat and like how cheats work and shit like that recently. I've been really like in the deep end, like rabbit hole and like going down this route. And it's there's a lot of shit that's very like holy fuck, this is gonna the rat race will continue. It will continue. Don't worry. The devs are gonna always be behind in a weird way because the cheat developers are just trying to solve one thing while the devs are trying to solve like a million things. So like, yeah, it's quite interesting what how like cheats are operating now and trying to get around with like, you know, classic like DLL injection into the memory, and then, you know, you alter the game that way. And now it's like, okay, now we've got like AI shit coming into the fold, and I'm curious how they're gonna handle that. Plus, I'm curious how they're gonna handle the Wooting and the Razor like strafe thing, because CS recently banned that.
Banned
they banned it in
so like
CS.
I
think it is a bigger deal in CS, I will say, because I think because of counter strafing and the way movement and accuracy works in that game, it's like a bigger deal. I've been playing with the Wooting SOCD recently, and honestly, I don't really notice it. I think part of the problem is that if you had very good movement before, it won't help you much because you already have like learned, if you're good at the game, to avoid the error of holding both strafe keys at the same time and stopping. And so you if you're good at movement, then you kind of are doing it yourself with like your brain, but you might as well use it just to avoid just on the off chance you make a few milliseconds of error. Okay, you can like prevent that now. So I don't know. I kind of hope they ban it though, because like it would be just cool to like. Cool. I do think it's not good for hardware to solve the game problems for you.
40k accounts that intentionally group up with cheating accounts as well, which is suspended or banned as well. So like again, if they're like duoing a few times, maybe they just get suspended. But if they're like routinely doing with cheaters to get boosted, which is like probably 99% of the time they're duoing with them to get boosted. Either because they think they're, oh my god, my friend's really good at this game, and actually they're just cheating or whatever. But yeah, it's a really cool initiative because most of the time when they're duoing, it's like the cheater, like you are obviously duoing with a cheater. Like at least the last few cheaters I've seen that have been duoed before of like hit scan player, mercy pocket, and like they just destroy the lobby because everything's a headshot. So like seeing those players also get banned is really sick. I think
it's such an irony because there'd be so much more effective ways to play with the cheater than the mercy boost. I think the mercy boost is like one of the worst things you could do as far as enabling a cheater. It is the easiest and most simple. But something like having like a competent Lucio or Brig player protecting the cheater is like, that is game over actually. If you like know how you're playing, like you can't kill them anymore because they're getting peeled. But at least Mercy, you just jump on them.
We need to bring back the old AI Rhine bots. Do you guys remember that? This was a few years ago. Where the Rhine would like...
The Rhine walks in front of you always.
Yeah,
it's like
if
your
anybody's not
shield.
aware of this, someone made a cheat. It wasn't that widespread use, to be fair. I think it was one or like a small group of people kind of fucking around with it and doing that. They were going to get banned pretty quick. But like they had programmed a bot to play Rhine, and they would do it with the Rhine. They'd be on hit scan, and the Rhine would perfect shield the other cheater player. And it's like
with you and
walks with you and like would spin around you and shit, whichever way you're getting shot from. It was ridiculous. It was so
that's not a good way to play the game, but
yeah, it's not. But it would protect the person trying to cheat.
They just like play Winston and Genji and jump on you. You're screwed. But
yeah, it was that was a funny like week of seeing.
That's like low key. It's kind of a funny cheat, but
yeah. I've never seen that. If you have a video,
I've seen a video.
Yeah, there's probably a video out there, but yeah, it was very, very silly.
That's amazing. All right, let's move forward to patch notes. Orisa got a small little buff. Energy Javelin impact damage increased from 60 to 80. Small little buff. Orisa is still kind of like, you know, like nerf hell a little bit. I've seen a couple of people roll out the Orisa.
It's not that good.
I've seen it in Orisa.
It seems like she has a little bit more of a... I mean, I think this is a great buff.
She just doesn't do much.
I love the buff to a skill shot. This is like a good way to buff the character.
Yeah, I saw it a couple
of times. The character just doesn't do much compared to other characters. Like compared to D.Va, like anything that goes fast, like we're in such like a fast
movement speed nerf does feel pretty rough sometimes. Like if you fort, usually it'd be really good and you get on top of someone like an Ana and you fortify and then you're just like killing her before the fortify ends, so she can't sleep you. Then it's like feels so much weaker now. But this is like this combined again with the squishy nerf means like bursting some people down is going to feel a little more consistent, or just spearing people, even if you're not getting them on a wall or bursting them with your left click, it's still like some better harass.
We like the skill shots.
Yeah. I mean, I think the javelin is the one thing on this character you just can't really complain about. It's like, oh yeah, he skill shot me.
Yeah. Saria, developer comment. Saria's secondary fire didn't benefit much from the projectile size changes in Season 9, since it's mostly aimed at the ground. We're increasing its damage to keep it feeling effective relative to a primary fire beam, so the second fire minimum damage is increased from 47 to 55, and the secondary fire maximum damage increased from 95 to 110.
This character
increase.
is still like a solo queue monster sometimes.
It's actually crazy if you play a good Zarya. You just get run down.
Because the bubbles last for so fucking long still. Again, I think they probably saw some kind of impact. I don't know if they saw impact in player numbers or like tank queues or like queues or something. They're keeping tanks strong, which again, I don't mind. And I've said this a million times on Plat Chat, but it's worth saying again. If you're just going to keep things strong, half a season to a season long, that's fine. I don't mind that. It takes people a while to get used to. If you like overbuff things, which I really do think they did on tanks, but I'm like coming around to it. I'm like more okay with it now. As long as they, kind of flip the script maybe halfway through this season and go another direction. Yeah, because at the moment the tanks are still kind of raid bosses.
I don't mind
good
the tanks
Zarya
being
players are
OP.
kind of good.
I've been saying this since the patch came out. I think it's actually fine for the tanks were OP before. Like they're just even more OP now, but like it is what it is. I mean, you have the most responsibility on tank, and you have the biggest hitbox. Like you need to be a little OP, I think, to have like an engaging game experience. Imagine any FPS game. Imagine what I like. We're doing trade-offs in an FPS game. Let's say you're playing Counter-Strike. Imagine in Counter-Strike if I made you twice as big as the other characters. How much buff would you need to make that like a playable experience when your hitbox is twice as big as mine?
You need like a full
you would
headshot
actually
kill
need
or some shit.
absurd strength. You would need like wall hacks to make in CS where you're getting one tap to make having a head that's enormous be like okay or acceptable to play with. You probably need some form of like cheats in that game to make like you would imagine if you were twice as big, you're like swinging the corner and everybody just sees you. It's like you see their arm around the corner, you just kill them for free. Like so
sure
I think people underestimate how bad it is to have a big hitbox on tank, and so it needs to have these like crazy stats and also pretty much every tank in Overwatch is like heavily range limited. And so if you're outside of a certain range, you're just defenseless. No matter how strong, quote unquote, you are, you're just outside of a certain range, you're defenseless. Like, or all you can do is hide and run.
Yeah, I feel like if a Zarya is running you down, something has gone wrong. Like something must have led to a Zarya like running down your damage or backline. Like there's just a peer.
Like when I don't know, when I see Zarya in my game, I just go Winston, and it's like the freest game of all time because people just counter take them.
Yeah, it's harder when you're Plat 5 on damage and your tank doesn't do that.
I will say I think Zarya is like probably a menace in low elo games because I just don't shoot the bubble, and it's crazy. Zarya on 0 energy is not that scary. Zarya on 100 energy is the strongest character in the game, but that's like inherent to Zarya's design. Just don't give her energy, guys. Don't spam the Zarya shields across the map for no reason, then you'll be okay.
Hey man, it's easier said than done. I have a grand plan and suddenly there's a bubble, and it just happened.
There's a bubble.
It just, well, I know, but I blame my teammates sometimes,
right.
Jake.
It always comes back to the old faithful.
The old faithful, my teammates. Look, I was playing junk and I just so happened to lob these nades. Why was I playing junk against Zarya? I don't know. I don't know why I was playing junk into a Zarya. I don't know, but it happened. It was King's Row. We drew, so it was fine. But it was scary. It was scary for a second. All right, not too much to say about Zarya. Here we go. So let's just go over all the base health reductions. So this was the big talking point going into season 12. They reduced the health on a lot of these mobile characters from 250 to 225. So that includes Echo, Hanzo, Sombra. They decreased the health on Torbjorn, but gave him 25 armor. So that's actually a buff.
That's a buff.
There's a buff right there. Juno from 250 to 225. Kiriko 250 to 225. Mercy, Moira, and Lucio. So a lot of heroes had their health reduced from 250 to 225, which is pretty significant. Definitely weaker. Do we feel like this was justified? How do we think this will change the game?
I think it's an interesting move, but like the heroes they picked, because I guess Echo is like the one hero that you nerf because it's like this hero's like high mobility heroes are OP and we need to nerf this one. But then all the other heroes are heroes that the high mobility heroes are like predators against, like literally every other hero besides Echo that is nerfed. So Hanzo included in this is a hero that's like vulnerable to dives, right? That like you want to jump on top of him and kill him. And then all the supports that they nerfed are like that too. I guess at low level, stuff like the Moira is like really hard to kill in your backline or something. So maybe that's part of the dive thing. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Like Mercy being nerfed in HP, it makes it better to play high mobility heroes, because you can jump on low HP targets and burst them down is like easier to accomplish. So I don't know. It's interesting. Like something like Sombra, even though you take away some of Sombra's HP, the fact that a lot of the heroes that Sombra wants to kill are less HP is like helps Sombra more than the 25 HP hurts her, I think.
Jaws?
I didn't feel too much of a difference, to be honest. Like
in the end, it is a small number. It's 10% of their HP, right? How often do you live on 25 HP when you might have?
Maybe you need to play more. Maybe you need to play those actual characters. But I mean, the Torbjorn one's pretty epic, honestly. Give him more armor.
I mean, you're a Torbjorn player.
Yeah, I mean, Torbjorn is just a ball on the as like a hitbox. So
he is such an easy hero to kill.
He's a very easy hero to shoot at.
He
needed armor. This guy needed a buff. Give him right click. Give him more damage and right click.
No,
that would go crazy. That would go crazy.
I mean, I think about all these heroes, and like I'm kind of happy that all of these heroes got their health nursed. I don't know about Echo, but like when I consider like heroes like Kiriko or Moira or
Kiri
Mercy,
and Moira getting the health nerf probably is good. Though Kiri is, I don't think she's actually OP. Like I think this dev comment reflects what I feel about Kiriko, which is that she's strong, but she's not just broken. And I think a lot of people feel like she's really broken. But I think this kunai change is actually a huge buff. This is like an enormous buff, because the crit is just as good as it was before, and now you're just body shotting for a relevant amount of damage. Like this is a big deal to body shot for 60 instead of 45. It means like something like breaking a shield is drastically easier, breaking turrets is drastically easier. And this is like immediately when Kiriko was released, also something I called out is like, this is a really weird choice to give it a different crit scaler. Because like Widow has a different crit scaler, and that makes her one of the most different heroes in the game from like a damage perspective. Like it's all about hitting headshots, and that's what Kiriko was too. It's all about hitting headshots, and now it's just more normal, where obviously headshots are good, but it's not the end of the world to body shot somebody down, right? These 225 HP characters are dying in 4 body shots from Kiriko. I mean, like that's pretty relevant considering before it would have been like what, like 7, so or 6, I guess
math.
Before
Math on broadcast.
Yeah, it would have been
like
6
that.
for a 250 character before, but that's a big deal because like doing it in less time means less likely people get healed. Throwing a headshot in there changes it. So I don't know. This is interesting. I wonder if the recovery time makes it efficient to not use your gun at all, like the original patch release. Probably not, since it's such a small change. But like on the original release of Kiriko, you did more healing if you just did not do anything except healing. And so that was the meta, was to just only heal. And
I did not feel that recovery time.
Yeah, it's a small
0.05.
I don't know if it's really gonna.
That's like
adjust the
a frame
anyway.
But
it's gonna be. I mean, Kiriko's gonna be stronger at fighting. But I think that this is a hero who is, in fact, I think pretty significantly hurt from the HP change. Same with Moira, because they do want to like get low and then clutch on low HP. That's like how they play. They TP out, or they fade on low HP, or they heal themselves on low HP. Like they have like things that you want to bait to low HP and then turn the fight with your skills, or escape with your skills after the enemy looked at you and wasted their time. And so the less HP, I think, does really hurt these characters.
Do you think that to go back to Hanzo and up a little bit, do you think that sorry, were you done with Kiriko? Did I just...
Yeah.
Okay, you were done with Kiriko. Do you think that the Hanzo breaking point matters at all? The fact that Hanzo can one-shot more of these 225 heroes now? Because a fully charged shot is 240 with a headshot, and a body shot is 120.
Yeah. So
everybody is very mobile. So if you are hitting headshots on an Echo, on like, any character that's small,
I think stuff like Kiriko not dying to headshot on Hanzo is like pretty rough, because then she like goes back to full HP instantly, and you can't finish her because she has so many saves. The same with Moira. As soon as she gets headshot, she like fades and she's gone.
I mean, Hanzo also sucks. So
yeah, exactly. But I think it is a reasonable point. I don't think Hanzo's that bad. I think there's just much better options, but I do think Hanzo, in the end, still is a very powerful long-range damage dealer. Just that, like, Ashe is more consistent with different damage types and better in more comps and better ult and stuff like that. But I think for most players, Hanzo's probably pretty strong still, because just keep shooting arrows. And, like, a lot of people have taken 5 damage and will die to the headshot, especially in a lower rank game where people just aren't full healed all the time and aren't hiding if they're not full healed, etc.
Yeah. Hanzo was also in a bit of a weird place after Season 9. So maybe this you know, now you still have some of that like one-shot lethality back for some characters, so at least Hanzo mains can be a little bit more happier. All right. I guess we should move on to Junkrat. Minor change here. Projectile size is now reduced by half after the second ricochet. So if you're just spamming a doorway and your shot bounces twice, the projectile size of that nade is now halved. And projectile preserves slightly more velocity on ricochet. So, you know, if you're a Junkrat, you know, if you just spam double hitting doorways or some shit, like around corners, it's going to be harder to like hit those at the end.
This is a nice change. Like, I don't think realistically as a Junkrat player, you're not thinking about after the second bounce. I think you legitimately playing Junkrat, I would always think about a lot of times use the fact that you can bounce once. And I'd be like, oh, let me spam this doorway without peeking, right? So I'll bounce on one wall and then it'll spam the choke and I'm hiding. That's like a very relevant thing that you do all the time on Junkrat. So preserving some velocity, I think, is good, and maybe it opens up more options on that front. But then again, like, you're not planning the
like
second bounce, and you definitely aren't planning after the second bounce. So yeah, okay, this is fine. This is fine. This is like, I think this is probably a buff, actually. If you play the hero a lot, I think it's probably a buff. If I don't know how much slightly more velocity is, but I think in general, maybe it's a nerf because, yeah, you probably were getting a little bit of damage off the fully random spam, like 3 bounces later, just hit somebody. But I think at high elo, that is not really happening. People like avoid them when they're on the ground. So I think this just opens things up for having a little bit more options with how you do the bounce spam, different chokes.
Jaws, you have a take? Or should we move on?
No, not really. It's like,
what are your thoughts on Junkrat velocity, Jaws?
Yeah.
This is a very small change.
What is your take?
Smallest change in the world. I'm sure the Junkrat players are going crazy out there.
Going crazy. The velocity.
The Soj change, though.
This is
interesting.
This is nice. This is nice. So you get rewarded for critting with your plasma, your primary spam. So you get 10 energy from crits, which if you're good at the game, you are getting a lot of crits from the spam. Like, you are not spamming body shots. You are spamming for the head because it does a lot of damage. And so now you're also getting a bunch of energy off that. Reduce the energy degeneration. I think that's nice, although not a huge. I mean, it's like, it's okay. Realistically, I think the way you want to play Sojourn now is just like, use your rail, keep going, spam rail. And like, you're not relying on insta bursting somebody. You're just putting out tons of damage for the follow up to come in from other players, or maybe they're already low and you get to kill them yourself. But I think this is like a really good change since they made the rail so much weaker and not a one-shotting ability anymore. Now that you're just going to be much more consistent with your opportunities. You have like more chances to hit the rail. So they lowered the benefit, but now they lowered some of the stakes on the rail. Like, you're going to get it back quicker anyway. So you're not saving it and waiting for somebody to get low and then trying to headshot them. There's so much pressure on hitting one shot. So I think this is going to, like, I think Sojourn has been pretty bad this whole season just after they made the one-shot rail, like, not a thing anymore. Sojourn's honestly been just pretty terrible. I don't think I play her, like, at all anymore on DPS. And so now I think this is like, okay, now you can actually consider this hero again. Maybe play some of these fast rush styles where having Sojourn's mobility is super high value. I don't know. Maybe it's not enough to like actually put her back in contention, but this is a great direction for the change.
Yeah, she was kind of terrible before. Like, not being able to, like, the damage was just ridiculous. So, like, keeping that charge. And crit's now granting 10 energy. That's the OG Soj as well, which is kind of nice.
It's nice.
10 energy.
It's nice that the spread reduction too. Like, it's gonna make long range spamming like a little bit more effective. Maybe you don't have to tap fire as much at long range with the like burst fire with the primary. But I think this is cool, man. I'm excited to at least try out Sojourn. I have a feeling that she's still gonna be worse than Ashe. Like, Ashe feels so good right now, but we'll see. I think there's a place for Sojourn, like a possibility or a style that makes her good, especially with Cassidy being so range limited now.
Yeah, I saw on Reddit there was some conversation about the change. Some people like it. Some people are still sad that, you know, I'm missing the post. Missing the word for it. Like, the identification of the character, the hero philosophy or whatever, has kind of moved away from the railgun. But realistically, it's not sustainable to be like, oh, they're dealing huge railgun damage on people. Like, that's not a sustainable like hero design or hero philosophy. So this feels more like reasonable. Like, yeah. You feel like you have a lot of impact, you know, with your primary fire, and then you get a good, beefy railgun shot as well. The ultimate still feels fun to use. So this feels like a more logical kind of like hero philosophy, I feel like. So
Yeah, fits with the if you're gonna nerf the rail, okay, then you buff it. You nerf the high potential of one hitting people, but then you also buff the consistency of okay, it's not gonna be one hitting, but you're gonna have it up more. Which is I think a very reasonable type of change.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job slotting Sojourn in between all these different hit scan heroes like Cassidy and Ashe and Sojourn or Soldier even. So I think they've done a good job there. I like the change. It's nice. Moving on to Sombra. We got the virus impact damage increase from 25 to 35 and the stealth bonus movement speed from 45 to 60%. So you're faster in stealth and you got slightly higher impact damage with your virus. Of course, you also got the base health reduction, but we talked about that. So slight buffs for Sombra when you're trying to assassinate people.
It's nice. I do think Sombra is like Kiriko and Moira though, in that she actually really cares about the HP. It's kind of like the HP total is a big nerf for her. You know, because she wants to like risk her life, win the 1v1 on 1 HP and then live, right? And like get out with her escape or getting to a health pack or something like that. So another hero where you do much more often, like something like Hanzo, I don't think you're often living on 1 HP on Hanzo. It's just like not super common. But I think on Sombra, Kiriko, Moira, even Mercy to an extent are like heroes that want to clutch low HP fights. And so it does hurt them. The HP change hurts them a lot more. Especially with the Tor buff, I don't think Sombra's looking even with these changes. I don't think these like I don't think your problem with the stealth was your MS. This makes you have a faster rollout. This is what that does. It makes you have a faster rollout. But more often than not, Sombra is in position long before anyone else is, and you're like waiting on them. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice little quality of life buff when it comes to the stealth. But I think for most of these characters that they changed the base health, like they're also just trying to be like, if we just straight up nerf your base health, like we kind of have to give you something in return. And I feel like impact virus damage is like, okay, you can have 10 extra virus impact damage. It won't be a big problem. Here's the slightest of buffs for the fact that we reduced your health. So I think it's reasonable. I mean,
it's just a silly hero. So, you know, it's not going to get played a ton. But people like to play the character and, you know, hero fantasy is pretty sweet.
Silly hero, but sometimes I think about playing Sombra and I'm like,
I think it's fine.
I like that. Did you want to talk more about Torbjorn here, Jaws? Or
no, not really.
This is a very
this is your moment.
Torb is a little tankier than before.
Yeah,
probably
great,
still not
man.
a good character
Torb.
for high skill players, but
Look at this
probably
shit.
really
Torbjorn.
broken. Honestly, this was probably broken in bronze now. Like
I love
high
Torb.
key broken in bronze.
You just put turret down and then you fucking shoot, bro. Like that's my hero fantasy, and that's why I like
How
Alara.
close are we to
spamming the choke for a minute?
Yeah, it's fun as fuck. That is really fun for me. Is spamming choke.
No, look, I like Torb too. Actually, I love playing Torb. So this is
Tall player.
I'll bring out a little
Tall player spotted.
A little bit tankier now, a little bit more. Can you tank a pulse bomb?
With
You
E?
can,
No.
right?
Your ass is dying.
Oh, surely you can tank with an E, right? A pulse from
With
fully-
E, with the extra 25? I don't know, actually. Good question. I never get stuck as Torb.
You never get stuck as.
I'm too
Torb.
slimy, bro. I'm too slippery. I play around my turrets, so they sit the turret and then they run away. I'm kind of the goat on Torb versus Tracer's at low key.
Bro, you're playing the fattest hero of all time. But Tracer can't stick you.
No. Trust me. I hit E, I right click them in the head before they can touch me.
Bro, he's got the Razer keyboard.
I'm slipping. No, I don't.
He's
Actually.
strafing.
I do have a cool
strafing.
keyboard though. I'm gonna disconnect my keyboard right now. Look at that shit.
Oh, is that like a
Venusaur.
ducky? Oh, it's a Bulbasaur? Venusaur?
Venusaur
Pokemon
high
keyboard.
ground keyboard. Yeah, it's fucking sick, bro.
Whoa.
I do want to get a Wu-Ting, to be honest, but I
got the
can't give up
Wu-Ting.
this keyboard, bro. There's absolutely no way. I got a deathmatch to match as
What's
well.
that? Is that
Thank
the
you, high
Razer one?
ground.
Wu-Ting? No. Wu-Ting
No,
is
Wu-Ting is like
the
its
the
own
best
thing.
keyboard in the market right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's like basically they did a bunch of hardware innovations that no one else had.
Wait,
done yet, and-
I bought my ducky one a few years ago. I thought this was like
Ooh, Ducky.
I
Ducky's
thought
so
this
sick,
was like
though.
the best.
Those
but
are
apparently
great
it's not.
mechanical keyboards. Don't get me wrong, but Wu-Ting has made like from a competitive gaming perspective something that is better than anything
wireless?
else. Like you can change.
Oh.
You can change actuation points. You can custom
Alright.
on every key with the software. You can
Yeah, you can change the actuation points on here too, actually. Individual keys and stuff. It's really nice. It's really sick. The high ground ones are really nice. And they do Pokemon.
Some people go crazy about that. I think Harsha has like the most
Arsha
elaborate,
has like
keyboard designs.
Yeah,
Some people love
That
it. Though.
guy
It's like
goes
it's like
crazy with
a
keyboards.
it's a hobby for people to like build mechanical keyboards. You know, you buy
Yeah.
the board and the switches, and you like do it all yourself. Like
it is
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
they-
There's a few
they're-
people. There's someone in my
big into it.
community does it too.
Yeah. If you have the clicky red switches, I judge you. Sorry. It's just But,
You can't hear him. Go ahead, Sam.
but no, I've been screaming with a few teammates who had like the clicky keyboard and like click, 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 click. It's the
Isn't
most
it like
annoying.
the blue? It's the blues that make a noise.
Is it the blues? I have a
think the
silent reds, I
are-
think.
The reds are, if you don't have, I mean, they could, every mechanical keyboard makes noise, but reds, I believe, are the ones that are, blues are like the ones that have like a special, like we make an extra noise for fun.
Extra noise for fun.
Yeah,
That
I think so.
No,
I'm pretty sure
that
it's
gets
blues,
my
bro.
blood boiling.
Reds
That
are-
is
are
crazy.
not- I don't think they have like the final click at the bottom. I think that's blues.
That sounds insane. All right, let's move on to Ilari. Solar rifle, maximum ammo reduced from 16 to 14, and captive sun, the violet buff.
This is the violet change right here,
No, I
baby.
mean, it is. I think that's actually a really good change. The collision. The thing probably shouldn't have collision. It's fine that it did, but like, I don't think there's any need for it to have collision. It lets you crack shot it now, which is kind of cool, but probably not good because it's hard to see where you're shooting. So it's probably just not all that useful. But I think
You don't ever
this
crack
character
shot the
did need a
fucking
nerf.
Alari, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. You're just flying in the skybox. You see
I'm
everything.
surprised they didn't touch the damage, to be very honest with you. I fucking did. The ammo
mean,
change,
This
I
is
also
a
don't think is that
long-term
crazy.
damage nerf. But I think, I don't know. I just don't feel like Ilari is all that broken. You know, I just feel like the
He's fun as hell,
vulnerability of
though.
Pylon is like pretty significant. The fact that it, you know, you can like clear Pylon and then you have like this long, like 10 seconds or something where she can't. heal
14
herself.
seconds.
Yeah, so it's like a, I don't know. I think this is like them maybe realizing, okay, the top end potential of Ilari to just do infinite DPS is too high, but I don't know.
I'm telling you right now, this ammo reduction didn't mean shit. She's such like a paced hero as well. Like, because you're not firing, you're not like a bang, 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 bang. Unless you're like, you get the headshot and then you like half charge and then you like finish someone off.
I
if
would
they're
just
low.
prefer that Ilari
But-
be broken and
but,
not
like,
other supports. I think
she-
it's fine.
yeah,
I like
she's-
Ilari in that game.
Her problem here wasn't really changed. And honestly, I don't think she's like hella busted. She's more powerful in like solo queue and ranked and stuff because she can just put down pylon in like weird spots. I found a lot of weird spots that you.
I mean, they've been playing on Ilari, you know, so.
Yeah, like
yeah, I think Ilari
it's-
is meta, I would say, at the professional level. So like,
Sure.
realize
In
you
solo
can
queue,
just-
she's
you
going to
don't
be
need a brig.
stronger because like people don't dive the pylon and like kill it like that quickly. If you're like smart and like tricky with your pylons, it's like kind of hard to kill them.
people
Yeah,
are
I'm
angry.
surprised they didn't touch the damage. Like my feedback was like, reduce it by like 10 or something, some shit like that.
I mean, the primary fire?
Yeah, primary fire.
I just
like
think this
reduce it a
hero is so
little
aim
bit.
gated that like it's only really a problem at super high skill.
Yeah.
So
Good
I'm
character.
not. It's not the end of the world for me. And I think at super high skill, the ammo nerf does matter. Like,
And her ultimate is like hella impactful, but there's so much shit that fucking eats it now, and like it's hard to
and
actually
D.Va just
use. Like
literally hard counters.
it's tough to actually use the ult. it's there's so many hard counters.
Cleanse
that
it
shit.
off or save each other. In the end,
If
it's
someone's
like
playing
force
Ryan, I'm like, finally, I can get a fucking ult off, bro. I can just fly above him and just fucking shoot you in the back line.
dunk over his head like a basketball.
Yeah, oh, boom. Exactly. Just dunk on the Ryan players. Fun as fuck. But yeah, there's so much. And
Shield
cleanse
up,
can
jumping
cleanse it and
around.
shit.
Like, no.
Yeah. Dude, I've
Doing
seen
his
so many
best,
Ryans
like,
do that. I'm like, if I just shoot
going
at your
up, I'm
feet,
going up.
that shit, you're dead, bro. Like that hitbox is huge. You're dead. It's fun as hell. Like Ilari, yeah, it's a really clutch hero too, actually. Yeah, I love the character. I think
I
it's
just like
great.
Ilari, so I'm not mad at her being all strong.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
she's just an aim hero.
Same.
Like it makes it fun to play. So like I'm way more likely to play support now that I have another hero besides Baptiste that can play every game. When I play support.
Yeah, it's nice. Talking about another support you can play. Should we talk about Juno?
Yeah.
Okay, can I just say this off the bat? People
Yeah,
are so
go.
pissed that they nerf characters on release or like change characters on release. Are motherfuckers forgetting that this shit is available to playtest by content creators internally and shit like that? I feel like, in a way,
I actually don't think that's as publicly talked about that some of us have played before.
I think it's pretty obvious. Like especially like internal playtests and stuff. Although saying that, she was changed because there was a public playtest, right? In quick
Exactly,
play,
yeah.
so it kind of makes sense. If there is like not a public test, should these changes even get like put out there? I don't know. When was the last time like there wasn't a public test for the hero and then they came out and there were patch note
God,
changes
I
for
don't
the
know.
character?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
don't
ever
know.
been a
All right,
thing,
so
but like
regardless of the question of like whether or not a new character should have patch notes, let's take a look at these because what I'm confused about is I think Juno is very. I don't want to say bad because I think that bad is such a value.
she's okay.
It
She's not
seems
the best.
very weak to me. Like I think this is like a Lifeweaver tier. Like you play this, you will lose at high rank.
Okay,
Almost 100%.
I'm just gonna speed run the patch notes and then we can talk about the hero and its slot and position. So, all right. So the Medic Blaster, the gun, burst projectile volley rate reduced from 34 to 28 shots per second. So, you know, our rate of fire decrease. Pulsar torpedoes, it's the one you lock targets, enemies, and teammates, and you deal damage and healing. Damage and healing impact increased from 75 to 85. Heal over time reduced from 60 to 50. The Hyper Ring, which is a speed ring, deploy range increased by 3.5 meters, so it's further, but the cooldown reduced from 16 to 14 seconds. Orbital Ray, which is the big ultimate. Beam travel speed increased from 1.9 to 2.25 meters per second. So it travels faster. You can run with it. So yeah, talking about Juno, I put out a tweet yesterday. It's early thoughts, but I was like, she's niche. She doesn't like Lucio just feels like a way more like versatile character. She's vulnerable. She's weak. Her raw numbers seem pretty low. I'm just like, there's not a lot of comps where I could see Juno being played. I don't see her play style. Like, I don't know.
Big tweet.
I mean,
Twitter blue user.
when I play tested the character, I gave him the same feedback, which is that I think this is the worst ult in the game. I think this is like literally bottom one ult. At least
really
on support. Maybe on DPS, like there's there's such bad ults sometimes.
He pays
so,
for Twitter. He pays for Twitter.
So whatever. But this is, I think, one of the worst ults in the game. It's just so like,
it's very slow, and like you're
not
never
only is it
fighting
slow, it's just
around
bad
that
to
point.
lock in on. I'm gonna walk down this straight line and use my ult skill on you and be strong. Like, it's so unlikely for that to be good. Like, it's so limiting, you know. Like I'd say BAP window. At least, I mean, BAP window is not super strong, but it's also incredibly fast charging, and like, you don't mind completely being solo in it. But the way this all works is not that strong for like one person to use it. It's more of like you want multiple people in it. The effect is not as strong as doubling like BAP window is. It's like doubling is so crazy that it makes it work even though it's stationary. But this ult is like so bad. So you're healing. Support's having a bad ult is like game losing, you know, because you're healing so much. You're like guaranteed to build ults. All the like, you don't have to do damage. So you're guaranteed to get your ult eventually as long as you're just staying alive and healing. And then like you needed to like actually change the team fight. Like stuff like sound barrier or nano boost is like has such a powerful effect on the team fight versus this ult. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I guess. Like, how many times are you gonna walk in a straight line? Is that actually what you want to do? It just doesn't. It strikes me as like such a not the way the game should actually be played to like walk in a straight line. I'm much more okay with somebody standing still. If you could make it stand still, I think it'd be way better, actually, unironically. If you could just be like, it's just a shitty BAP window and I'm going to sit on this high ground and camp it, that's like way more normal because you're in a strong position where you have great visibility. And so you pop the BAP window there and you're like, this is great. Even if they hide, I'm zoning a huge amount of the map. But how often in the game are you going to push forward down a straight line corridor at 2.2?
It's very map dependent. It's very map dependent. But I think there are points in the game that if you have a positional disadvantage, like this ultimate gives you an ability to like walk around that or like walk through the corner or like go through that choke in a way to like the opponent really has to respect you. It's 35% damage amplification. It's a beam that heals you like a lot over time. It's especially in pro play, I don't think it's going to be as good because, you know, people move around, mobility, they play around all of these abilities, right? Especially in pro play, I don't think it's going to be as effective. But I'm not going to sleep on it as an ultimate because I do think, like, it is powerful for certain map scenarios. And again, I think it's a niche hero. Don't really see what good support comps we're going to see from this hero. But I feel like you have to respect the ultimate, which I think it's about foundation for certain use case, certain maps.
Like, it's nice to break a choke point with, but then how do you play his character on defense? Like,
yeah,
you know, or like, I don't know. I think this all is like the way it works is like it's gonna bait you to do dumb stuff. Like, I think that's for me the problem with it. Versus most support ults are enabling you to play the way you want to play and do it better. I feel like this ult is like a skill capped ult in a way. Like, I don't think there's anything like, because you committed full. Something like a Kiriko ult, since it gives you an MS boost, makes it way better. And the fact that it is an enormous area, so you could have like some guy way in the back on high ground sniping with attack speed boost, and then your tank is running in on the front line and he's way in there because he's got a movement speed boost. So we have this like huge area of the map controlled. But since the Juno ult is like only one area, I don't know. I think in general, I think the fact that it's not just the ult. Juno does like probably the worst damage of every support besides like, Mercy or Lifeweaver. It's like the same tier of like use this hero.
No, that's not true. The DPS is all right up there.
No, it's not, bro. Like if you have played this hero, it's garbage damage. You can't fight real players with this. Like it's like Lifeweaver. Like you do damage, but like a competent player is gonna just maul you in
It's
the 1v1.
decent
They will
hit
not
scan
respect
DPS. Just
you
like
can't headshot. It's
numerically.
garbage.
No,
It's so
you can't. That's true.
It's I am more scared of a Lifeweaver in a 1v1 than this character. Like it is actually, you were defenseless on Juno. You run away only. And the problem with that is like, it's like the reason Lifeweaver is bad in high rank is like all you're doing, running away is not a winning play. Running away is like a let's not lose for a little bit longer. But like against bad players, they like overextend into you and feed. But against good players, they're like, oh, you backed out, you like left, control the map, I'm going back to the point. And now you have to repush on Lifeweaver. Good luck. Like that's where I feel like Juno comes. I'd like compared to Lucio, where he could fight people. Like he could actually fight a DPS. On Lucio, he could get in there, he could do damage. I don't think Juno. I think Juno's damage is like ass tier.
The neutral
Maybe
is
if you
really
use
bad.
the torpedoes or whatever, it could be like. I just think it's so bad, actually. Like, so I feel like it's weird to nerf this character. I think this character might need buffs to be even playable at high rank, but I think it's another Lifeweaver. It's like gonna be garbage on launch and gonna get like hard buffed 3 or 4 times before it's like playable at high rank.
Wait, what was that? Someone just
look at that armor.
Oh,
look at that armor. He's tanky. Oh, the pulse bomb. Hey, it ran out.
Well,
it ran out.
That ran out. So
Wait, it ran out.
Yeah.
Pulse and then hit E. Yeah, you good.
There
Solomon.
goes.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
He survived
He's
like
got
1
HP. He's got like
HP.
75, 60.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Not bad. That ain't bad.
Okay. W Solomon. Thank you,
I
Solomon.
think you could probably tank a pulse before this change, actually, because if it's that much HP.
It was
Yeah.
level like 1.
Anyway,
Then again, it's super easy for Tracer to follow up on you.
Going back to Juno, I think the problem is you don't have like that hugely impactful ability. Like when I think about BAP, I'm just like, oh, immortality field, amazing ability, and just like sound barrier for Lucio, like amazing like playmaking ability, just like offensively or like defensively to like for a flux or something. Like there's great usage for Juno. I'm just like, what is that ability that you're just like big impactful ability like on a biotic grenade? Like there's, I'm like, you got a hyper.
Another problem with Juno, she has no self heal. So like I think you talk about like immortality field on BAP, but BAP has like 2 abilities that both allow him to sustain and win a 1v1. Like,
yeah,
most supports have 2 abilities that both enable them to win a 1v1. Like Lucio, heal lamping yourself is super broken. Booping people off position is like really strong. For Kiriko, you could TP out, you could cleanse yourself and keep fighting. On a sleeper nade, both can win a 1v1 if you hit them on yourself and the other player, or just sleep somebody, they're probably gonna die. Like every support has, other than Lifeweaver, and Mercy, who only run away and are considered garbage at top rank. Then Juno also only runs away. She doesn't actually have a skill that helps her in the 1v1. I guess you could say the torpedoes kind of do, but for me, that's just like making up for your mediocre damage. It's not. You have no self-sustain in the team fight.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Or in a 1v1,
that is
right?
the biggest weakness for
like
sure.
0. And that's crazy because most supports have 2 abilities that both sustain them. In a scenario, ideally, of course, you're using them on teammates, but it matters a lot that you're a hero who's like, defenseless. I feel like having heroes like this on the map just makes your comp bad because it's just another hero who's gonna run away when you could have a hero that actually fights. Like why would you want to run away when you could fight? Why would you play this hero when you could play Lucio and fight and actually contribute to mitigating what the other team is doing? I feel like this hero is like, I'm gonna do my own thing. Like, look at me. If you could hit the 10-man pulsar torpedoes, right? Like that's the dream for this hero. And maybe that is like just so much damage and heal on the map that it's good. But number one, not realistic because it takes too long to acquire all the targets. And I think this hero needs major buffs. That's why I'm saying this is so weird. Like I see these are nerfs and I'm like, wow, like I thought this hero would launch and also get huge buffs to be relevant.
So Alec Dawson actually tweeted out this morning that Juno seemed balanced. Let me see if I can find the tweet because I don't want to. Juno so far quite balanced and trending upwards. Still some things we want to look at fields wise. Hopefully small changes out tomorrow. So they're gonna hotfix
balanced playtime. I don't know. Balance,
quite
like,
balanced and trending
win rates
upwards
and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that probably means her win rate is like comparable to other heroes and that it's getting better as people learn the character. But I don't know. All right, so for me to be clear, I think probably Lifeweaver is balanced for most players. So that's what I think. That's my problem with this character is not for the average Joe. And these characters are actually not problematic, and it's like going to be just like a fun new addition to the game. Because I think in the average ranked player is like Mercy, Moira, and Lifeweaver are in your average game. You know, like that is the normal. That is the default. But the problem with these heroes is that they create a problem at the top rank when you have players who spam Lifeweaver or whatever, and then they get to a high rank and you just start getting turbo inted on, and you're like, well, okay, I guess you're like, I can win if the game is low elo on Lifeweaver and the players aren't good enough to punish, but then, or like Lifeweaver, it needs 10 buffs to be okay. It needs like buff after buff after buff to be like playable at top rank. So I'm worried for Juno in that sense. I think this hero might go untouched in competitive play. In ranked play, I'm sure is actually probably fine. But even like high GM, I genuinely think this hero might be a new sim. Maybe there's some spawn optimization where you like build the TP and then
fucking love spawn optimization.
And then swap the Kiriko to like you know, get to back to the fight or something like that. Like unironically, maybe that is how you do this. Maybe you speed ring and then you go Lucio and hit a rollout. I don't know, but I don't think this hero is going to see real playtime in this current state for competitive play. Maybe they don't care, which is fine. I think it's actually fine for like Lifeweaver and Mercy to be unplayable in pro play. It's like whatever.
Yeah, pro play, it's really hard to see it. I just don't.
Yeah. If there were hero bans in competitive play, I would say actually it matters a lot to have a second reliable. Like you genuinely probably would play this hero just for the speed. If you were like dead, if you're space station,
what do you mean no Jaws?
Playing Ryan.
You've just sat quietly. You're a support player. Have you played this hero?
Yeah, and I've played with the character too. You have to pay attention more to the character because, yeah, no self-heal. It's hard to tell how the character will actually do. You just get run over by Lucio comps like 99% of the time. I don't think she's crazy good. She was a bit clunky when I played her because you can't use the gun while you're using the little
the torpedoes,
micro missiles.
The pulsar torpedoes, Jack.
Sure.
Pulsar torpedoes.
Pulsar torpedoes. She is not going to be played in OWCS. I'm good. I can take a little while of time to learn the names.
Actually, I don't know if it's public, but it's definitely not going to be played this week.
I don't know. But I mean, I'm worried because I think it's not because the hero is not allowed. It's like I don't think this hero is competitively viable.
I don't think
this is another support that is going to get skill capped out of certain rank, and like. That can be fine, but it makes me a little sad. Because I like having more heroes to play that are viable at top rank. And then they gave Lucio one of the biggest fucking buffs of all time. His gun.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
They give him 4 damage on every shot of his gun. I mean, if you shoot all 4 projectiles, it's 16 damage. It's actually you could like one hit people, right? With all headshots now? Is that not a one hit?
Probably.
It's pretty close.
Vega put out a tweet and was like, yeah, he does more damage than Genji now. It's like actually kind of
Lucio,
funny.
unironically, is going to be one of the highest damage supports now. This change is actually crazy. Like I think Lucio might be hard meta for pro play with this change.
It's like Frogger paid off the devs
like
bro.
This is like 2018 Lucio.
Crazy.
Like this might be as good as Global Aura. I don't know. It's close.
Astro's like pumping his fists like
the way to play Lucio properly at a high level is basically turreting. You like sit in the middle and chill and like have your aura on and just turret people down. And like the HP change basically doesn't affect that at all, right?
I think that was literally the way Gunba coached his Lucios. Gunba was just like, just sit back, just build your ultimate, and then use your ultimate.
No,
just
that
shoot.
is how any competent Lucio
shoot.
player plays at the modern game at a high level. It's like there's no other way to play. That's the way to play. You occasionally have moments where like that guy's low, I can swoop in and finish that guy up, or I can, you know, help my tracer on the flank and then come back. You have like you use your movement for those little things, but sitting in the back and spamming the tank is very good. It is very stable and consistent and high impact on the game. You build the beat very fast. This change makes it so it's like I don't think there's any other way to play anymore than sitting there and turreting. I mean, with the HP nerf, it's gonna be way worse to run in solo, but it's so good to turret now. Like chilling and shooting the Rhine shield is legitimately really good.
they buffed with 4 damage.
It was already really good, and then this is crazy.
It doesn't actually make sense at all.
Right? What is this damage? This is like a 15% damage buff. I mean, Lucio already was one of the higher damage supports. This is like Lucio's going to be doing Zen numbers now.
Is it more? Am I high?
I don't know.
It's like almost 25%, right? Because if it
22.
was 16, it'd be 25. So it's 18.
It's like something like 22 and a half or whatever, but
It's
it's a
crazy.
lot. Like 22 and a half, that's a big buff.
Yeah.
Mercy got her damage amp buffed by 5%, right? I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
you can think of it in a different way too. It could be 5% from 25, but since it's multiplied on another figure, I guess
Didn't really give a proper explanation either. It was just like he gets close range. We want to increase his effectiveness at range before diving in. It's like, yeah, but most of his shots are fucking like when he's on top of somebody too. It's just like,
well, I feel like the way Lucio's played, I mean,
That
like, that's the
doesn't
thing. If you think about Lucio in
make
terms of he's going to be
sense.
like inting under your backline, this change is like fine, I guess. He has less HP, so he's going to feed more for doing that. But sitting there
He's just
spamming
gonna
across the map at the
one-tap
enemy
somebody.
line is just going to be like 20% better. That's a huge change. Like, and you build the beat like probably 10 to 15% quicker than you do before, right? Because like, let's say about a little bit less than half comes from your damage and a little bit more than half comes from your heals for the most part. This is a huge, like, you're going to get the sound barrier way faster. I honestly think Lucio might be hard better. Like,
I
don't,
might
it
just
be
start
a
playing
one-
Lucio and just turret. Just turret and try to climb that way. Just play Lucio
kill
and
turret and then press your amp at the right time. That's like all the, and press beat at the right time. To be fair,
Go.
amping and beating at the right time are very complex decisions. That this is such a big single movement decision. If you fuck up, you basically lose the game. for
I
your
believe
team.
in myself. I think I can do a good job.
Yeah, if you got good decisions on beat, you could just chill, turret, and then a really good Lucio will like find the little moments to mix it up occasionally when the fight gets chaotic and all you can get away with it. But you don't probably have to do that. You can just chill and turret the whole game and you'll be fine.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see how long this lasts. Maybe we'll see some Lucio hotfix tomorrow with the Juno patch. we'll
But Lucio
see.
is such a high skill character, maybe it won't matter. Because like in the end, honestly, I'm totally fine with Lucio super destroying heroes like Mercy and Moira by being just giga strong. I'm like totally fine with this hero being Lucio. You can be 100% meta on Lucio, bro. I'm actually fine with that.
Yeah.
Like Loki, I have no problems with that.
Okay. Wrapping up Juno. I think we all want to see boss for Juno. It's in a weak state. I don't really know how it's going to slot in. So a lot of confusion. We'll see.
The Lifeweaver change.
I'd rather play her a little bit more. I hate jumping to conclusions that quickly, to be very honest with you. Like,
Oh, really?
just-
That
yeah.
seems to be the hot thing these days in
Yeah,
the
no
Overwatch
fucking
community.
shit, bro. Because all of fucking content is now like, I'm just gonna take out 0.5 seconds before the patches, after the patch is released. Like,
It's
I
reaching a
just wanna see
tipping
little bit more.
point in Overwatch now where people
I
are
love
people are
that
really
cycle.
fed up with those takes. So we'll see how
Yeah,
that goes.
no
All right,
fucking
moving on to
shit.
Lifeweaver. Yeah, you had Lifeweaver takes, Drake.
I mean, interesting. I feel like these are nerfs, actually. I guess the holding the full charge Blossom is okay, but I don't think you really do that. Like, I guess you could do that, like, before the fight. You're, like, waiting for somebody to take damage and you're ready to insta-heal them. But if you were doing that, it was probably because the fight basically hasn't even begun yet. And why would you even care about your movement speed if, like, no one is even engaged and no one... If the guy you want to heal out in the front is not taking any damage and you're holding a full charge heal, you 10 miles in the back on Lifeweaver are almost certainly not taking any damage. So I don't know. To me, that change is like not really helpful. The passive charge is like, that's okay, but like, I mean, aren't you just spam healing on this character anyway? So why do you care about that? Unless it stacks with the active charge, which I don't think it does. The pedal platform coming down is interesting, but it also avoids some of these like super high skill pedals people do where they like block a doorway or something annoying with it that's like actually strong. And then having less HP on this, I think matters. Sometimes on tank or DPS, I find myself actually shooting the platform if I can't get up to the Weaver. And so breaking it a little bit quicker. I don't know. And then the dash from the heal being less, that your flat HP being less. I feel like this is kind of a decent sized nerf to Lifeweaver. Like the main, your self survivability has been nerfed for me. I don't think the platform coming up and down helps you really. I guess sort of okay, but
Yeah, I think the pedal platform is definitely more like middle to low ranks where people just like don't look and they just walk over your platform.
yeah.
Like now you have to be more proactive. So like something is happening, you put your platform down, you
I
walk
mean, you
on
could
it.
do tricky stuff with it, you know, like you could like go up and then go back down again and go up and back down again. But I think realistically, it's best the first time you go up, right? When you deploy it and go up and you escape somebody who's on you, it's like, okay, that's like the strong. You don't want to come down when there's a tracer waiting below you, right? You just want to stay up there. So I don't know. Maybe you can like do some elevator shenanigans to high ground and it's more flexible for your team to come up and down. And your Ana, you could send your tank up first and then your Ana up second. That actually probably helps. But in the end, these are like sort of gimmick plays. And then you have like less HP and less self heal, which are like the most important things on support. Like that's why I'm like kind of not flaming Juno, but saying that she's weak is like no self heal, no like self fighting ability or nerfs to your self fighting abilities are generally like the worst thing that could happen on support, because supports are like a little bit weaker than DPS and tanks, and a lot weaker than tanks at like 1v1 fighting. But it really matters that it's like you can win 20%, 30%, 40%, 50% of the fights. That is a huge difference. You know, when you have characters like, if Lifeweaver is now like less survivable, if Space Ranger does no survivability and gets just mowed down by DPS in ranked, that idea of you getting like saved by your teammates and protected by your teammates is not super realistic. So I don't know. I think might be very dangerous.
The lack of healing is brutal. Going back to Juno, because the mobility is all right, but like the fact you can't heal and you're just going a straight line when you glide, like you just.
There is some tricky shit you can do with that straight line glide though. If you
like
push yourself up against a sloped surface, you can get to high grounds like super quick.
It's
like
a lot of gimmicks, right? Like
a lot of
not.
Like a lot of like surfaces in Overwatch, like walls and stuff, are slightly slanted. So like you can get way higher than you initially think you can with Juno. It's kind of cool actually. There's like lots of small like movement text that you can do. Kind of sick.
I played Gibraltar
like
and I was actually impressed by how much you can actually vertically navigate Gibraltar on Juno.
I mean, having the jump still gets you over like a lot of these like intermediate high grounds, or lets you cheat up a box that other characters can't get up. Whatever.
Yeah.
So it's nice. I can't help but feel this is a character that just runs away from fights. And I feel like that is like not good in Overwatch, to run away from fights. Like it's so much stronger to have a Brig or a BAP that like takes the fight and wins and pushes somebody away. It's just like changes the whole course of the game, versus you run away when the DPS fights you and the DPS just like keeps progressing to the strongest position on the map and then starts occupying it. And now it's like a huge problem for your team. I don't know. I just can't imagine the speed ring, like the healing torpedoes. Maybe this is like a low rank type hero. Maybe that's good though. Maybe that's
perfect.
Good. It's like you need more heroes that occupy that niche.
For me, let's go. All right, let's speed run here. Mercy, 55 to 60 health per second. Secondary fire damage boost, 25 to 30. Reduced health.
Stop buffing this fucking character's damage boost, bro.
I mean,
fine at 25.
I think Mercy, another character, very hurt by the HP nerf, because she is like the one you want to kill first all the time. So having less HP is a big deal. I think these buffs they're okay. I don't think Mercy will be
Just say it. I just the playstyle of the character is just AFK, so that's why I don't like it.
That's Mercy.
Annoying as fuck.
It's a big nerf to like the actual advanced Mercy playstyle, where you're like baiting your life and juking people with your HP.
Ain't no one doing that, buddy.
Getting self heal, but that's only like
no
top
one doing
rank Mercy play.
You buff Moira damage from 60 to 65 damage per second.
Sure. I mean,
to make up for the health.
All right, having less HP also hurts Moira, so I'm actually fine with it. It's fine. I think Moira is net weaker.
Okay. All right. There's some quality of life changes for Juno. I don't know if I want to. No.
I mean, do people even know what they were before? I feel like it was.
No.
Just play Juno, guys.
And
hop on the game and play the hero. You don't need to know about
play the hero.
3 quality of life changes.
There we go. Those are.
What is the oh, don't worry about it. Nah, it's too late.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
We don't need to read the QOL.
There's hero mastery for Farah and Soria. Oh, yippee! All right.
I was so hyped about hero mastery. By the way, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna play this shit, man! It's gonna be sick." I've not touched a single round of hero mastery since it released. I think it's a really cool system in the game. I think it's a really cool like mini game kind of thing. But I was like way more hyped than I thought I was. And when it released, I've done no challenges. I haven't got the little like there's a broken bot like charm and thing. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that," and I've just never played. I probably should. I can't really have an opinion on like how it's played. I feel guilty too.
This is awesome.
Yeah, and I just haven't played it. Yeah. Didn't they say they were going to discontinue them though, or was that something else?
That was like the group thing, wasn't it?
Surely not. They're making new ones.
Well, they probably had these in the works for a while.
They're probably going to keep going until they make one for every hero.
Really?
No, they had like a group thing, didn't they?
Yeah,
where, like, you had to, like,
there was something that they
group
did
and
cancel.
they removed it because no one played it.
Yeah, maybe it was that. No, I remember something to do
I
with
wouldn't know. I didn't play it.
I mean, bro, 90. I don't know what the actual number is, but some huge percentage of the player base just wants to play real Overwatch, and like that's fine. That's what the game
real
is.
Overwatch is fun.
It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be 10 different.
It doesn't.
Mario Party. You don't need 50 mini games.
Other modes are important for the game. Other modes are important for the game. It doesn't matter about the percentage of players. If only like 5% of the player base touches the mode requires almost zero uptime in terms of like dev
I think
maintenance.
it's just
I would
easier
imagine.
to make than most custom games because it's like all gray boxed and like
Yeah.
and it's just like
It's
basically
like-
only the game design, right?
You
don't have to do,
ideally
like, the
for like
art.
these alternate modes and shit. Ideally, you want something that you can put in the game, and that requires like very minimal dev time
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like for
It's perfect
upkeep
for
and maintenance. And these are modes that probably have very minimal upkeep and maintenance like cost to them in terms of dev hours. So like them being in the game is overall a net positive. And yeah, if they keep adding more modes, then cool. I
Big
will
agree, big
maybe
agree.
play them soon. Maybe, probably not. But we'll see. There we go.
There you
That
go.
was it.
Gauntlet
Hero Mastery
scrapped
Gauntlet
in Overwatch.
scrapped. Yeah. Okay.
We'll discontinue.
Oh, it was this thing. Oh,
you go.
okay. It was the multiplayer thing. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I guess that would do a hero mastery for every character then. That's pretty sweet.
All right. Do you want to talk about skins for 5 minutes, Jules?
Yeah, skins,
Skin hit.
baby.
You said that the new Kiriko skin is the best Kiriko skin in the
I
game.
think the new Kiriko skin is the
don't
best
like it.
Kiriko skin in the game. Why? Because cyberpunk aesthetic 2077 is fucking sick. And Kiriko's skin is exactly
Wait. Maybe I'm thinking of a
that.
different one.
He
Let me
thinks
see
that
the
this
skin.
wolf skin is
I
cyberpunk.
think
skin?
it's cyberpunk E. If you've played
Is it?
Cyberpunk
I didn't even think it
2077,
was
it's
Cyberpunk.
it's very like it's because it's set in like Japan, right? Or like there's a lot of it influences
I
Japan.
think it's Oni is the name of it.
Oni,
right?
yeah, Oni. Boom.
Is this
Oh,
cyberpunky?
dude. Well, it's
I
like
guess
it's
kinda like
futuristic-y kind of like
I kind of
Japanese
getting like a
kind of like
medieval
old school
Japanese
armor.
vibe from it.
Yeah, but like, oh man,
That
I think it's
kunai
kind of
is sick.
cyberpunky because of the like the neon is where I kind of get the cyberpunky vibe from it. But man, this skin is fucking sick.
The hair
It's
goes kinda
easily the
crazy.
best of the three that were released in the Money Heist thing, and I think it's the best Kiriko skin. The mythic skin has nothing on this one. Again, I love the theme of this skin.
I like
so
the mythic skin.
Yeah, when it's leveled up. Yeah, it's cool.
unbelievably large W from the skins. Oh, and the soldier skin from this
Oh
bundle
wait,
as
I haven't
well.
seen the soldier skin. Pull it up.
So,
Let me
Solomon,
rate
if you can
this.
pull
Let
up
me
the
rate
soldier
this.
skin.
It's
Good. I
resident
equipped
We
it.
it's
have
clear.
TF2 unusual effects in Overwatch now. Heist.
Wait.
Look at the backpack.
Oh my! Wait.
We have a
This
TF2
is so good.
unusual
Oh my
effects
God.
in Overwatch. It's finally
Wait,
happened.
I need
We are
this
getting there.
bad now.
It's
I need
Fucking
this.
awesome. How sick is that?
Bro, I'm
The
about to
gun
buy
is also
this.
pretty sweet too.
I'm
Again,
about to
kind of
buy
like
this.
because you know the Hashimoto like Kiriko video thing. It's
Got, like,
kind of
the watch.
cyberpunky, like not
Yeah,
as
it's
much
got
as like
crazy.
2077, but it's like there's a little bit of futuristic. Obviously, Overwatch is kind of futuristic anyway, but like yeah, I don't know. This
I think there's a highlight player intro or something
was sick.
where like there's just tons of cash everywhere.
oh no, it's an emote.
Oh, it's an emote.
Yeah, it's an emote.
I don't
It's
know what
like-
it's called. Make it rain.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you equip this skin, it looks fucking sick. 'Cause the
Jake
thing's
is
coming out as
equipping
your
it right
background as well. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's cool.
These two, this like money heist bundle thing is fucking awesome. This guy loves Sojourn. It's really cool. I love the Kiriko skin.
Yeah,
man.
it's
I wish
good.
played
I
more
equipped
Kiriko.
it. I equipped the soldier skin. I'm not gonna lie. It's really good.
Easy equip actually.
What else have we got? There's some mid-season skins that haven't been released. Also, they're doing the World of Warcraft collab. We didn't mention that, but they're doing a World of
Oh,
Warcraft
the Widow
anniversary
one
collab.
goes. The Sylvanas Widow is maybe the best Widow skin.
I don't think
it's
It's
in the
game. Is it in the
actually
game?
too
It's
sick.
probably not in the game yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the game.
Oh, is it
yet.
not? Okay,
Yeah.
I saw like the picture of it.
Yeah,
but
there's like art. There's like
it's on.
art.
Is it at Gamescom where they did it or?
Yeah, something like that. Sorry,
yeah, it
Solomon.
was, yeah.
I shouldn't have jumped ahead there, but
Yeah, the
yeah,
Widow
there's
skin
Reaper,
is
the
fucking
Reaper mythic.
sick. Oh, dude, the
The
Reaper
upgraded
mythic.
one looks
Level
nice.
level 4, right? Okay, Solomon, here we
level
go.
4?
Here's the
Yeah.
layout, Solomon.
All right,
Level
all right.
1 mask,
No.
and then level 1 color. No, level 4. Yeah. Oh, it's so good, dude.
All right.
The only thing that
The
trips
only
me out a
question
little
for
bit is
Reaper
the tail.
though is
Come
does
on,
it
why you got the
defeat
tail, bro?
Overwatch 1 base skin with the gold guns?
Yes. What the fuck? This has got like unusual effects.
Overwatch
bro.
1 base
that's
skin
Chad.
with the
This
gold guns.
one goes
Oh, hear me out.
hard.
Hear me out. Overwatch 1 gold skin with the base guns and the kicking out of the coffin play the game intro.
Wow.
Fringe.
If I see an
Versus this.
OWCS player rook up with the default and golden guns, I'm like, oh, I know
that is the OG skin.
This
combo.
one is
You
unreal.
can't
For
beat
real.
that on Reaper.
If you click try it out, Solomon, as well. Dude, look at that.
Let's
bullshit.
go.
if you click level 4, do all the levels. Yeah, level 4. Yeah, there you go, and then try out. I don't know if the audience can hear the game, but like when you hit the ult, it sounds so sick.
The sound is really cool.
Yeah, the sound's really cool. Yeah. So yeah, if you go pick up the
holy
ultimate
view model,
ultimate canister right there. Yeah, and then hit the ult. It sounds awesome, man. Oh, do you know? Well, if you click it anyway, it looks sick as fuck.
Wow.
Oh wait, it looks cool. It's like a sandstorm.
It's really sick.
Okay, this does go hard. I gotta admit it. I'm not a Reaper enjoyer, but like actually, occasionally I am a Reaper enjoyer. You know, when Reaper is good, it is low-key.
It is actually,
fun.
yeah.
Just run in and boom, like one click the tracer. That's like
Reaper Friday.
It is. It might be Reaper Friday. It's coming up.
True.
Yeah,
tomorrow. It's coming up.
You gotta buy the skin. That's cool. What else? The Doomfist one is not out yet. There is. Oh, now I'm really reaching here. What other skins do we have?
I can't remember. I don't even remember the Money Heist ones.
Yeah, those were cool.
The soldier one, that's too crazy, bro. That I need that right now.
What is the other one on the Money Heist? Can you go to the shop?
Ilari got a new skin, I think.
Is it Ilari in the Money Heist?
Wow. No, not in the Money Heist. That's
scroll down. Oh, it's Hanzo's. Oh, it's the recolor of the other one, which was like a yellow, blue, and a purple.
No, I'm good.
Wait, that's a good. I've never seen this skin.
Yeah, this used to be a skin. Yeah, they recolored it. Yeah.
But the other two, obviously, these are goated as fuck. Basically. Really like him. That Kiri skin is unbelievable.
Yeah, the Kiri skin is nice.
There you go. Damn, look at that shit. That's crazy.
There he goes.
Yeah, it's so sick, man.
D.Va has a Heist skin.
A very, very small thing, actually. With name cards. Name cards look infinitely better now. It's very small. They've removed the like gradient gray thing on the name cards, so like you can actually see the entirety of it with color now. When you load into a lobby, it looks way better. I know it's a very, very small thing, but aesthetically, when you load into a lobby and you see everything, it looks really cool. Yeah,
I see what you mean. It looks a little bit like
it looks way better. If you go on your friends list, Jake, and you see them, like it looks so much more
overall, like you actually people can see your name.
You can see colors. It's not like grayscaled and like it looks it's pretty sweet. Yeah, there's an only Ana skin, which is pretty cool.
The Ana skin? I equipped the new Ilari skin. I thought that was cool. It's like Mooney, Anubis. There's like a star. Her cloak is like stars. There you go. There's the Oni Ana.
It's pretty sick. I have not. I think I've unlocked it, but I do a thing where I wait until I complete the battle pass, and then I'll click the battle pass button, so it goes dun 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 to level 80 or whatever, whatever the max level is.
That's pretty satisfying.
It is extremely satisfying.
All right, go to Ilari. Go to Ilari, someone. Show me that cloak. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, the cloak is pretty wicked, actually.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like
the gun's
that.
pretty cool too. I haven't used it.
Was there a new D.Va skin too? I'm never replacing the Porsche D.Va skin, by the way.
Yeah, for real. The sounds are too good on the Porsche D.Va. When you Matrix,
yeah, the sounds are so sick.
Hey, Jake, driving those Porsches was so much fun, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, bro. You guys
so mad. He's so salty.
I can't, dude.
You can drive
I'm in California,
D.Va.
please. Let me drive the fucking the new GT3, bro. They're so sick.
That's like the most car head of all of us, and we're like, wow, you drive my Porsche.
Dude.
Yeah,
like
just
$400,000 cars.
Just pedal to the metal down this straight. Go as fast as you can.
Oh my god, that was the most fun because that was the one thing I could do properly is literally go straight as fast as possible. It's like no
They
skill.
sent me the video, and I'm like a kid. I'm just like.
Okay, the Heist D.Va is actually the Heist D.Va goes hard, but yeah, like you said, I can't replace Porsche, so it's not really an option.
I can't. I don't know what other skins there were, to be honest.
Those are the main ones, really. I mean, some of them aren't released yet, so we can talk about those another time. But yeah, it was mainly the Money Heist ones.
Yeah.
And the Reaper one. Oh, the Doomfist cat.
Yeah, the Doomfist one's not out yet, but you got
and the Echo one as well. Yeah, I don't think it might not be in there, Solomon. I'm not sure. Oh, it is. Oh, there you go. Doomfist with cat is. It's pretty wicked.
Ooh,
cat boys in the game.
This is a battle pass skin, right?
I'm not equipping that. I'm sorry.
Battle pass.
I use Black Hand Doomfist, just too good, you know.
Yippee.
I use a shock one. Gotta represent.
Yeah, I always use a shot one as well. I don't play Doomfist, but
no. But there's so many sick Doomfist skins.
Doomfist
is actually just two stacked. Gladiator. We've got Formal is a classic. We've got Swamp Monster.
I like the Jotun actually, low key. Dark
Jotun?
horse.
Isn't it
Yeah,
Jotun?
Jotun.
Is it really a J?
The ice one. I think that's cool.
I mean, I know it's spelled with a J, but is it really? You say, isn't it Jotun?
Dude, I don't know.
Isn't this like
Aren't you
Swedish or
Swedish?
something?
No, it's Norse, I think.
Jotun.
It's like Norwegian.
Jotun.
Maybe. Jotun. I don't know.
It does go hard. It does go hard.
Yeah.
Good character. Pretty wicked.
Painted. Even the purple skins are fire.
Cool. I
There we
guess
go.
that's
Battle
it.
Pass done. I mean, skin review done. Yeah, I mean, dude,
Skin
I'm
review
just
done.
saying. Oh yeah, the
Aaron
Korea
Keller
card's
said
pretty cool.
they're giving us a venture skin next season because people are like, why are there no venture
Yeah,
skins?
why no venture skins? Yeah, but come on now. Come on, man. I would take the money high skin over a venture skin, man. I'm just saying. They got no skins, but I'm just saying the money heist ones go crazy.
Yeah.
Down for that more than
That
anything.
soldier
Yeah.
skin that's a new lock-in, bro.
Mercy got a new skin as well, I think. But Mercy always gets
Oh
skins.
yeah, she's like
The
it's like a
formal one.
ball gown or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Not replacing the mythic one.
I don't play Mercy, so
Oh, we know, Joss. We know.
also the mythic one goes fucking crazy. So
Oh, it's called like formal Mercy or something.
yeah,
It's
I don't think it's on there
legendary.
yet, Solomon.
Oh, it's not
It's
on
not
there?
out yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
It might not be out there.
All right. We're going to wrap things up. I don't know. Who's player of the week? You guys did OWCS. I did not. So, or Jake
I
did
didn't
not,
do it
actually.
yet. I'm on in a few days, but that's it.
PG for dying 22 times on the Icon Walder.
PGE
That
for
actually
dying
is
22
some
times
hype shit.
Eichenwalder. Yeah, PGE legend.
It's just
He
getting
made
3,
some.
2, 1. Bro, go venture. Literally, you
Yeah,
can't die.
Solomon,
Like,
let me bring up a tweet.
It was
Um,
funny. I watched that replay code, and there were so many fights where he would just like come back in like overtime like 3 times, and it would just add to the death counter where he would just like throw
bro,
himself into the
Lil
fight
bro,
and die.
You got venture in the game now. The most
Dude, this
unkillable
It was
tweet
funny.
from Sojourn went fucking crazy. It's like one of my favorite memes of all time as well.
Oh, this is the PG. All the
Dude,
PG
it's
stats.
just a montage of his deaths.
What is it? 30 seconds to Mars.
Break
Come,
me
break me
It's
down.
22
Bury
deaths,
me,
bro.
bury me.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, this comp is pretty brutal to be playing Ash on.
No,
no!
The amount of times people fell off the bridge in that series
Yeah.
or like that day was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like Lucio's, PG on cast, like, oh my god.
Dude, I'm so surprised they're playing. I guess they're playing Hitscan to like force the dive to come in on them. But I just feel like you could just go venture here and it would
There's
be
a few
okay.
Sombra clips coming. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, you go
Yeah,
Sombra.
the
Sombra
Sombra.
has that desperation on Hitscan when you go Sombra.
Yeah.
Unless
He
you're lit, then you're just
he
gonna be venture.
AJ'd the Lucio.
Yeah,
I
he
missed
did,
it on
yeah.
the call. I fucked up, but
Wow,
Missed
it was
the
so
Ajax,
funny.
bro. Ah! Oh my, wait, he
Dude.
almost made it. That was a good movement. Holding backwards there is actually quite close.
so
I
sick,
also have
man.
another clip from this map. It's a 30-second window where Kellan falls off the map with Primal Rage because he jumps into
Yes,
the
he got
tank
booped.
on the side.
Yeah.
There's an Ajax right after, and then it's Tracer for TSM Rocket dying to his own pulse bomb, all within the span of 30
This is
seconds.
the way Overwatch was meant to be played. Full chaos.
Yeah.
Just
It was a fun match.
Malga, just
It was a super fun
blast
match
them at
actually.
close range. That's the way to go.
Me and
That's
Scott had a good
amazing.
time.
so.
PGE
By the way, PG.
taking it for the
There you go.
homies. You know, they won the match, right? So who cares? You know what?
Yeah, they
Doesn't
did.
matter.
3-1.
We won. Whatever it takes. And PGE, he's willing to be that guy. The sacrifice for the team. I won't go venture. I'll tank these deaths. We're winning.
It was they only lost Lijiang Tower, and it was painful because they lost the control center to like.
Oh, didn't they see?
Oh yeah, here's the dude. PG is looking at the tracer. He's trying to solo EMP like Rocket, and here comes is it Lep with the from spawn
Yeah.
in overtime. Somber.
He hits the bit. Oh,
Oh yeah, play it
dude,
out. Play it out.
the top of the rope.
Hit- Lep's
Lucio
POV
beat,
is
dude.
just brutal.
Yeah.
That's pain.
Let's take a look.
Although I will say it's a good EMP to solo EMP tracer there, but no.
Yeah, here it
So
comes.
It's
here
a little
comes Lep.
predictable. Maybe they
Here
just
it
didn't realize
goes.
he had
Dude,
it.
I did the Lucio thing where you just like you're rolling out so quick and you just have to hit the beat, so you just do it from like super high ground.
That's
Yeah, I
incredible.
mean, it's a tough spot to be. The only better play is to like be aware that the EMP's coming.
But this is overtime,
Oh,
and they
juggled
lose the
in.
map, so it's
Yeah.
tough.
Well,
That was a fun series,
In a
man.
way, though, Oh, they're kind of griefing. Why did they even try to win this fight? I guess they thought like, because once you lose D.Va here, I guess they got bull support, so he thinks they're gonna win, and then ooh, that is actually pretty pain. I would probably beat that too.
That's yeah.
Just you get PG has died 45 times. It's like 30 minutes to playing Sombra before you cast the EMP.
It's it was a tough one. It was a tough one. All right,
Fine.
there you go. We might be live later today. I might jump on with Avril and might talk about OWCS Korea. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll talk about OWCS. We haven't done it in a while. Also, I think Face It season 2 is like wrapping up too.
Yeah, I think so.
So we'll see. A lot of stuff going on. Anyway, there's season 12 episode going for you. I'm gonna go play the game because I genuinely like playing the game. The game is a lot of fun. We're one of the podcasts, Overwatch podcasts, where people actually like playing the game.
So true. Wow, that's so
I've
basic.
been playing no comms though, so it's like it's not so good when I play no comms.
No comms.
Yeah, no comms on tank. I'm just going in on Winston. I see the opportunity. It's up to my teammates to see it as well. It's okay if we lose. I
Follow
see
your
the chance.
lead.
I go.
Follow your lead.
I hope we have a tracer on my team. If I don't, I'm gonna still jump in like we have a tracer, and it's just up to my teammates to recognize that they need a swap tracer.
Exactly.
As you might imagine, it's not a very effective way to play the game, but
Hey, as long as you're having fun.
I have fun.
doesn't
I have
matter.
fun. I just can't take it when I'm playing tank and people make the worst comms ever. I just have to leave voice, bro, or else I'm gonna lose my mind. You know, I just can't.
All right. This has been another Irrational episodes of Plat Chat without molding. Take care, everybody. Bye.
See you later.